Hello, hello everyone, I'm MVL and today we will be looking at my video game pickups for the whole year. This is my 2020 video game pickup special. I'm going to talk about every single game I picked up in the year, and if you want to see gameplay footage for any of these games, you can go and check out my video game pickup videos, which are edited and include gameplay footage for every single game. How about that? And I will also be streaming separate videos for more in-depth look at my top 5 horror games and my top 10 pickups for the year as well. But without further ado, my friends, let's look at every single video game pickup for the year. This is going to be a ton of fun. We're going to have a look at a ton of retro games and just have a great time. So you might think this might be an impossible mission, but we will start off with my January pickups, and the first one is Impossible Mission for the Sega Master System. Hey Dead Insight, how are you doing, my friend? Welcome to the stream. Good to see you, my friend. Yeah, this is a Sega Master System game, a platformer. There was gameplay footage for this in the video. Of course, all of these, if you go back and check the video game pickups videos for them, there will be gameplay footage for them. Hey, Mystical, how you doing, my friend? Shiny. It's actually in a box protector. That's why it's so shiny. My head is shiny as well. That's because of the light and the general baldness. How you doing, my friend? Good to see you, Mystical. But yeah, I believe this is complete with the manual and the cartridge. I won't open up every single one because I have a lot of games to go through, and especially when you get a good look at the shiny head there when I go down, especially when I drop the case. But there's some pictures of the gameplay. This is a very fun game, very cool for the Master System. Love finding Master System games complete in box as well, and this one was in great condition. And yeah, great one to add to the collection as well. So fantastic game. It was a lot of fun to play. You have to go around and look for items, if I remember correctly, and solve puzzles. So very, very cool game. Love finding box games for the Master System as well. That was very cool. So yeah, Impossible Mission. That's the mistake. Don't call it Mission Impossible. That's a different game. We'll get to that later, actually. But Impossible Mission for the Sega Master System. I'm not even sure. I've got so many games. Where am I going to put them? To show off the next one, again from the January pickups for the PlayStation this time, is Danger Girl, a dangerous game. And this is shiny because it's in the jewel case most likely. But interesting game to say the least. There's a clip of the back of it based on comic books. Doing well. So yeah, Cyberpunk looks cool. I haven't seen much of it myself. I remember the case for this is broken, but there you go. The disc as well. Dropping everything here. Don't drop the manual. Don't drop the manual. I'm going to drop the manual. The case is already broken, so so there we go. And there's the disc as well, just in case you wanted to look at that. It plays like a third person shooter with a little bit of platforming, a little bit of like Tomb Raider style platforming, but there's also a lot of shooting elements to this game as well. It's actually a pretty cool game. I remember seeing look at that, the crack on the case has gotten even worse. I'm gonna have to fix this. The problem with these jewel cases is that they're very flimsy. But I remember seeing Brett the Ninja play this and it looked really cool, so I decided to pick it up. But there you go, Danger Girl for the PlayStation 1. And again, if you want to see video game footage for any of this, just go back and check the appropriate video. This would be January 2020. Anyway, next up we have original Xbox games. First up we have SpiderMan for the original Xbox. I believe this was on other systems as well. It is a 3D platformer. You can see Spider-Man there fighting the Green Goblin. Go beyond the movie, it suggests. Pretty cool. I believe this is complete with a disc and manual. I won't be opening up every single one of them necessarily, but I may well do. It depends how easy they are to get open. Hey Sam M, how are you doing, my friend? Welcome to the stream. I'm doing great. Thanks for asking, my friend. Yeah, looking forward to next year. A lot of good stuff coming out, Dead Inside for sure. But Spider-Man for the original Xbox. Cool game. There's been a lot of Spider-Man games. In fact, The previous year I had picked up SpiderMan for the PlayStation 4, and that has a PlayStation 5 version now with enhancements. It's only available as a digital download with Spider-Man Miles Morales on the PlayStation 5 as like an extra. So I kind of want to get that, but you know, that's looking into the future. We're looking at the games I picked up to this year. Hey Claire, woohoo! How you doing, my friend? The weekend starts here, it does indeed. And the Jonin Monkey is on GameCube. Yeah, GameCube versions are normally more expensive. Not to say that the GameCube versions aren't good. The controller is very good on the GameCube, but graphically they're normally better on the original Xbox. But the original Xbox controller is definitely less good than the GameCube controller. I'll give you that. But yeah, Spider-Man for the Xbox, original Xbox. All right, next up we have another original Xbox game, and that was Star Wars Jedi Outcast Jedi Knight 2. Now I had originally played this on the PC, and I don't know what happened to my PC Star Wars games, but they went awry. To be fair, I had water damage to my game collection, and I lost a lot of PC games. Particularly, I lost my my role-playing games, like my D&D games. So maybe the Star Wars games went away with those as well. But I lost all of my Star Wars games, so I figured when it came to it, I might as well pick them up on the on the consoles, because they're just plug and play, right? You can just plug them in and play the game, boop boop boop, and you're playing the game, and that's good for me. Cool game. It's like a role playing. It's got like first person elements, and it also has third person elements, if I remember correctly. Very cool. I do prefer some of the other games in the Star Wars series. This one actually got a re-release recently, so you can get a modern version of this as well. Modern version. Hey Retro Gamer, what's up, my friend? Welcome to the stream. You can get modern versions of this, but I don't know what has been enhanced and what hasn't been enhanced. But this as well is complete with the manual and the and the and the disc. There we are. I can't speak. You know what? I actually, after the Xbox games, I skipped over a PlayStation game. Because it's funny how I skipped over it because it's so big, but I put it to the side because it wouldn't fit on the top. So after I do the next Xbox game, we'll go back to PlayStation 1 for just a moment because I missed the game. But you'll see why, because it's so big. You know what they say, guys, bigger is better. And I may have missed out some games from my list in general, to be honest, because there's a lot of games. But the next one, I remember this was one of the worst ones to record gameplay footage for. Hey, Trevor, how you doing, my friend? Who is this? Welcome, welcome. Lightsaber mechanics. Yeah, actually, some of those games you could, like, thrust the lightsaber in any direction you wanted, and that was really cool. That was really awesome. The next game is X-Men 2 Wolverine's Revenge, and I actually remember this being one of the most frustrating games to record gameplay footage for, because this was really rough to play. I don't know if it's just the Xbox version or the controls. But honestly, this was rough. This was rough. How are you doing, Trevor? I can't help but smile around you guys as well, my friends. Thanks for joining me for this video game pickup special. We're off to a great start, actually. I already missed out a game, but I will show you it directly. Yeah, so this game was a little rough. Maybe it opens up earlier, but there's a section really early on where you have to dodge mines, and honestly, I just couldn't do it. The mines were invisible. I don't know if I just didn't read what my instructions were. That's often the way. When I'm recording gameplay footage, I'm often doing many games at once. And yeah, I just got wrecked by mines constantly. So I stopped playing it. There you go, X-Men 2 Wolverine's Revenge. Probably if I was to do a top 10 worst pickups, this might be on there. But you know, I'm not above giving it a second chance. Anyway, I mentioned I missed out a PlayStation 1 game. Maybe I was distracted by Danger Girl, who knows. But this was actually, if I was to do like my best value pickups. Now I will say, for when I do my top 10 pickups of the year, this won't be on it, because I won't, or for the top 10, not for the horror top 5, but for the top 10, I won't be doing games I already own, that I got different versions of. But this was a game I already owned, and I got some Faceless Monkey, and this was the Final Fantasy VIII Collector's Edition for the PlayStation 1. Now admittedly this was an empty box when I picked it up, but if you see what this goes for, it is insane. Now, I already have the game. My game is not a bundle copy version. This would have a particular bundle copy in it. But the seller at Faceless Monkey, who's a lovely guy, by the way, sold me this as essentially an empty box for a couple of pounds, and it goes for like 150 or something. I found out afterwards, which is insane. Very cool. I love this game. It couldn't have gone, you know, with everything said, it couldn't have gone to a better home, because I am a lover of Final Fantasy. And you know, the game's not in there. I have the game and I have a memory card. It would come with a regular memory card, and it would come with the game that has bundle copy on it. But it also came with some stickers. I've shown these off before, and it comes with a poster as well that'll be in there as well. Very cool. I might as well show them off as well, because to be fair, the poster's got a little bit of mold on it as well. The box itself, I don't know what it would go for. Complete, I think it's 150 or around about 300. Rise of the Tomb Raider, nice, nice. Halo 4, I think I've got Halo 4. The poster, it has the bad guy on this side, and then on this side it's got Squall, and it's a little moldy. It is a little moldy. You can't really do anything about that, but you know, to get it in the shape it's in, it's still pretty good. What it would need is it would need a memory card to go in there. And it would need a copy of the game. And then I don't know what would go there. I can't remember. Yeah, I have no idea. But there you go. It's mostly complete. The stickers, the memory card stickers, somebody used some of the memory card stickers, but they didn't use all of them. So like Renoa is still present, for example, and Squall. So some of the better ones are still there, which is cool. Even though my camera famously doesn't like focusing on things that I show to the camera, you get the idea. It wants to focus on my shiny head, doesn't it? That's what it wants to focus on, the camera. And you get some stickers here as well, pretty cool. I've shown these off before, but I'll give you another look at them. Pretty cool. They're upside down, or are they? Hey Brad, how you doing, my friend? Welcome to the stream. Yeah, my what's my secret? Well, I'm pretty bold. I'm pretty bold. It's a bold move. But I think, you know, if it's not like intentional, but I think if you cut your hair short, they can't really tell the balding as much. I guess, if that's a genuine compliment. Like anyway, on to PlayStation Portable games. Hey, hot chocolate. You know, actually, I bought a hot chocolate today, and I asked for a large, and I didn't realize how big the large was, because I think I'd had a medium previously, and the medium was like tall, so I asked for a large, and it was huge. Like, I'm not exaggerating when I'd say it's like bowl sized. It was insane. Hey, appreciate you, my friend. Enlarge the poster. It's a great poster. It is a great poster. I don't think I would put it up, because I put up some posters previously, and to be honest, the blue tack, the alcohol in that causes damage to the posters. But it's nice to have it as well. I would have preferred an art book, but I always say that every time I get a collector's edition. Hey, you guys are the greatest. Thanks for being here, my friends. You guys are awesome. It was big. That's what they said. Yeah, it was big. The next one, talking about big, is Fat Princess Fistful of Cake for the PSP. This is like a red versus blue game on the PSP. Pretty interesting game. I didn't have any version of this, so I grabbed the PSP one. And I believe this is complete with the UMD and the manual. There's some inside artwork there as well. Once I whip it out, oh my god, we've already gone there, right? We're like 10 minutes in and we've already gone there. Well, what did you expect? Honestly, what did you expect? Anyway, talking about Final Fantasy, this leads on to my next one, just as planned, right? I didn't deliberately do them out of order or anything. Is Final Fantasy II. This is a Japanese copy. And this was really cool. This was also featured on one of my game hunting videos. I also do game hunting videos where I show myself going out and picking up the games, as well as video game pickup videos which are edited and include gameplay footage for every single game. This one I found in a charity shop. Unfortunately, I didn't get the Final Fantasy VIII Collector's Edition. I would have loved to have got that on film, but I didn't. But this one I did. I found this in a charity shop. And it does play in English on an English PSP, which is awesome. And the artwork for this is absolutely fantastic. It looks amazing. Role-playing game as well. Smash Bros. X Final Fantasy? I haven't seen the trailer, that's news to me. But this is absolutely awesome. Pretty awesome. Is that like a new Smash Bros game? Is it official? I like that. It sounds cool to me, man. If they make a load of Final Fantasy amiibos, I'm done. I'm done if they make a load of amiibos. Yeah, but this the manual for this was pretty awesome as well. As you can see, the manual is in Japanese with all of the character artwork as well. It's still focusing on my bald head. It's doing it. But there you go. Pretty cool. Love to have all of these. Love to have all of these extras. And my head is too shiny. It wants to focus on that. So all of the extras are in Japanese. But yeah, it plays in English, which is awesome. Didn't have the PSP version of this. Still want to get a PSP? Yeah. I love the PSP. My favorite way to play it these days is through the Hyperkin cable on the TV. But you need the 2000 or 3000 to do that. Anyway, yeah, awesome. Final Fantasy II. New character is now a DLC fighter. Oh, that's pretty cool. I mean, either way, they might make an amiibo, which would be pretty awesome. About the size of the nail, the hammer that's behind. The poster on the wall. I mean, speaking of that, the guy next door to me is always hammering. Hammering the door or something. Hammering the wall or something. I don't know what they're doing. But anyway, the next game is Infected. Infected on the PSP. This is like a third-person shooter, like a 3D third-person shooter. Actually, really cool. It's got Slipknot music in it. It's got a really bizarre sense of humor. This is one I definitely recommend going back and checking out my gameplay footage for this on the pickup video for January. Yeah, very, very interesting game. Very cool. And yeah, very cool game. I actually really enjoyed this. And yeah, pretty cool. Pretty cool. Play with it. Oh my goodness. Well, you can't see what's going on below the camera, can you? Anyway, Infected, really cool game. This was a surprise because, you know, I didn't know anything about this game when I picked it up, and it was really cool, really cool. I know what it's like, Brad. I actually went out to do some game hunting today, and speaking of that item I picked up from Faceless Monkey, I went to Faceless Monkey Intruder again today, and I bought some Game Boy games, which I'll show on a future live stream. Too many games to show today to show them right now. But I got some Game Boy Advance games, and kind of unintentionally, I think I caught them slipping again. So you know, since I bought Final Fantasy VIII Collector's Edition, they've started eBay pricing stuff. Which, you know, I really like Faceless Monkey, so it's not a big deal to me. But yeah, I actually got some good deals on Game Boy Advance games. I didn't know the prices of them when I went in. I just thought that's what I wanted, but it turns out after I checked the prices on, I did catch them slipping. But you know, they sold some games, and I got some good games. So there you go. It is an awesome name, right? It sounds like the Jonin Monkey would be affiliated, right? The next one is a Wii game, and it is Batman the Brave and the Bold, the video game, based on a more modern Batman cartoon series. This is a side-scrolling beat-em-up. I love side-scrolling beat-em-ups, and it's awesome to see that on a more modern console, actually. Pretty cool. Oh my god, OBS went nuts for a second. I don't know if you guys missed anything for a second, but it said no data. I'm ending the stream soon. So I don't know if we missed anything, but if there was a jump cut, I apologize. There we go. So yeah, Batman, the Brave and the Bold, the video game is the next game. Man, OBS. Alright, this is a pretty cool side-scrolling beat-em-up game. Not to repeat myself, but in case it did lose connection for a moment, or I didn't have enough data. Very cool game. It has a disc and a manual here as well. Damn it, off you sponsorship. Yeah, you can actually use some of the extra heroes as like special moves as well. And I think you can gather more stuff as you continue through the game. But I remember this being pretty fun as well. Pretty cool. And I think it has it does have 2-player support. So that's cool. Batman the Brave and the Bold. Love to have that. Alright, moving on to the Xbox 360. Again, for January pickups. First up we have Assassin's Creed 3. Now, I haven't fully dived into the Assassin's Creed games. I think I found this one very cheap. Maybe I'll grab like a collection of them at some point, but certainly I feel like I've got a lot of catching up to do with the modern Assassin's Creed games. Having said that, from what I see, the new Assassin's Creed games don't really have anything to do with the main story of the original Assassin's Creed games. That seems to be left to the side, and more the theme is more what they're going on, like a pirate theme or a Viking theme or an Egyptian theme or what have you. So I'm not sure I really need to go back and play Assassin's Creed games to play the new ones, but you know, there you go. I really appreciate that, Trevor. Again, you don't have to do that, buddy, but I love you, my friend. Thanks, buddy, but love you, my friends. Don't go crazy though. Don't go crazy. But I appreciate you guys. Yeah, Assassin's Creed 3, PlayStation 5 as well. There's a lot of PlayStation 5 games I'm looking on, but I'm definitely gonna wait and see with the PlayStation 5, because you know I rarely get stuff brand new. I get games mostly secondhand, and that's how I acquire so many games. You know, most of these games are secondhand, a couple of pounds to the most, and that's how I acquire most of my games. There will be a couple of new games I show here, but for the most part, I get stuff secondhand. Anyway, Assassin's Creed 3 for the Xbox 360. There you go. And next up we have Dark Messiah, Might and Magic Elements. And yeah, this, I actually had this. You never played Breath of the Wild? I'd definitely check it out, Brad. If you don't have the first Breath of the Wild, of course, if you don't have, I say the first, second one isn't out yet. If you don't have the Switch, the Wii U is a fine way to play it. I played Breath of the Wild on the Wii U, and I don't feel like I got any less of an experience playing it on the Wii U versus playing it on the Switch. When I came to stream it, of course, I did stream it on the Switch. But yeah, I would check it out. I think, is a Wii U cheaper than getting a Switch? I'm not even sure these days. But I digress. I'd definitely check out the game. It's worth it. There's a lot of good Switch games as well. Anyway, I had this on the PC. Again, I don't know what happened to my copy of it. It's a first-person fantasy role-playing game, and it's pretty cool. Oh, I know what you mean, Brad. Games come out so fast, and there's a bit of water damage in here. See that? That's dirty. It's a dirty game. Ew, so dirty. I'm being so dirty on stream. I'm talking about going crazy. Don't go crazy, MVL. There you go. Dark Messiah, Might and Magic Elements. I had this on the PC. I enjoyed it, and I actually forgot. I lost it and forgot what the name was. Found out a while later that there was a Xbox 360 version. I think you can't change the looking version on the Xbox version or something. You might be able to go into your Xbox settings and change your looking version, and then it applies to the game. But I found this a little awkward to play because of that. Next up for the Xbox 360, we have Final Fantasy 13. This, I think I only got this because it had a slipcover that I didn't have. So there's the slipcover. I'm not crazy, you're crazy. We're all crazy. Very, very cool. I think there's another variant of the slipcover, which I might have on the PS3, I forget. But there's the game itself. And yeah, there's a lot of Final Fantasy games I haven't played through, so I need to definitely put some time into those as well. I love Final Fantasy games. They just command a lot of time commitment for them. But here you go. Role-playing game. They definitely shifted away from what I preferred, which was turn-based, to hack and slash with the Final Fantasy games. But nevertheless, very cool to grab that as well. Definitely gonna get switched to soon. I recommend it for sure. I recommend it. Doubtless, it would be a good pickup, in my opinion. That's where. Trying to find the time to play the games you have right now. I know exactly what you mean, my friend. I'm working through games. Mostly games that I plan to stream in the future, so I've played through them before I stream them, so I don't get stuck. And also so I can get the full experience from them and then stream them and then share them. But some of these games I will show you as well. I went on to stream down the line as well, or some of them I might have picked up different versions for the purpose of streaming the more modern and high resolution version. Here we have for the Xbox 360 Tomb Raider Anniversary, and I believe I already had this on a different system, and I only picked this up because it says it includes a bonus disc. I think I had this on the PlayStation 2 or something. This was like a reimagining of the first Tomb Raider game, Interesting, it does have a bonus disc. I still am not really sure what the bonus disc content is. I want to say it's like probably wallpapers and stuff like that, but it doesn't really seem to like, because it doesn't say, it says extra content, it doesn't say what extra content anywhere on here. It does say from Xbox 360 gamer, Tomb Raider is still one of the greatest games ever made, and I agree with that. But there you go. Oh, okay, it says includes soundtracks for Tomb Raider Legend and Anniversary, and a collection of trailers. So, pretty cool, pretty cool. I do not believe the disc worked outside of the Xbox 360, however, which was a downer, but, you know, there you go. The next game is Sonic and AllStar Racing transformed for the Xbox 360 Classics version. Assassin's Creed Valhalla. That game looks really good. That's what, you know, I kind of want to get into those games. There's so many Assassin's Creed games. It's like if you want to play the most modern Final Fantasy game. I've played Final Fantasy up to a point. The hill you have to climb to get to where Assassin's Creed is right now is so steep. But then I don't think you have to actually have played the previous games. I could be wrong. Anyway, this is a crazy racing game. My video footage of this, if I remember correctly, is all messed up. You can check that out. January pickups for 2020. The gameplay footage is really messed up because the disc is messed up. I don't recall if I have replaced this disc or if I have not replaced this disc or not. But there you go. Sonic and AllStar Racing transformed. It's a really good game when it's working. Eurogamer gave it 9 out of 10. Sweet racing game. Really cool. Really cool. Sonic and AllStar Racing Transform and plays on the Xbox One. As a matter of fact, even if this disc was damaged and didn't work properly, I believe I could put it into an Xbox One, and as long as the Xbox One knows what the disc is and it is backwards compatible, it will play without issues because it won't be reading off the disc, which is actually kind of a big advantage for games that are put on the backwards compatibility because of how that works. But anyway, Sonic and AllStar Racing transformed. And the next game is a promotional copy of Skyrim, because apparently I can't have enough versions of Skyrim. Promo copies were given to reviewers and to shops, and really it's just Skyrim but in this different version. And that's, you know, I'm such a big fan of Skyrim that I decided to pick it up regardless. Just had to pick it up. Gotta have another version of Skyrim. The disc as well has a not for resale on it as well, promotional disc. So it's pretty cool, nice oddity. This could be the point where I am a little crazy, but then again I have started collecting amiibos recently, so I am crazy. Hey Zombie, how are you doing, my friend? Welcome to the stream. Appreciate you stopping by during your break. That's dedication coming here during work. I appreciate it, my friend. It's awesome of you. Yeah, to be fair, when I want to play a game series, I do try and play everything up to that point. So that I get a good understanding of the game series. Especially in the more modern games, they might reuse something that was in one of the previous games, and I think it would have more meaning to me if I had played the previous games. But you never know, really. The next game is on the PlayStation 3, and it is Ninja Gaiden Sigma. It was given 9 out of 10 from Official PlayStation Magazine and the Gold Award. This is a hack and slash game, and it really doesn't include much stealth at all. And many of these games had extra content that was added in, but yeah, pretty cool. Many of these are different versions, I should say, different versions of the game. And yeah, there you go. And has the disc and the manual in there. I don't recall what is included on this one, but yeah, you don't really have to do any stealth on these. As you can see from the clips on the back, it is very hack and slash. Priceless. Yeah, Skyrim, to be honest, there probably will be a PS5 Skyrim, and I actually want the PlayStation 4 version of Skyrim, because when I recorded gameplay footage for that Skyrim, I just wanted to play Skyrim again, and I don't think I have the PS4 version. So yeah. Halo 4 this weekend? I grabbed a Halo 4 recently, and it didn't have like the DLC. I can't remember which one it was, but it was one of those ones where it has a Game of the Year edition, but the DLC's not on the disc. And the last game for the January pickups is the Uncharted Collection, the Nathan Drake Collection. And if you guys remember, I actually streamed all of these games from this version. I originally played them on the PlayStation 3. By the way, if you're wondering why there's gaps in the shelves behind me, it's because I grabbed all of the games for this stream, and I didn't shuffle anything around because you know, it actually took me forever to grab all these games. There you go, the Uncharted Collection. Pretty cool, pretty cool. Includes Uncharted Drake's Fortune, Uncharted 2, and Uncharted 3. No manuals in modern games as well. There is like a little piece of paper in here, but I think that has the controls on, which is kind of handy. But yeah, all of them on one disc. There's two variants of this as well. There's one that shows different artwork on the front, and one that has like the Uncharted 4 style artwork, and I went for that as well. Alright. ODST. Like, I get kind of confused with that as well. Which Uncharted is my favourite? Oh boy, it's been a while since I've played. You know, to be honest, I've only played Uncharted 1, 2, and 3 because I was waiting to get the Vita game. Because I don't have the Vita game. Or a way to play the Vita game. Because I have a PlayStation TV and it won't play the Vita game. Before I played Uncharted 4. But I remember, like, Uncharted 2 being, like, really good with the combat. But, you know, without remembering correctly, I'm going to by default say Uncharted 1. But they definitely ramped it up as they kept going, for sure. But I can't remember. I probably said which was my favourite at the time. Alright. So after that, that's on the Master Chief Collection, that Halo? I've got the Master Chief Collection. It came with my Xbox, but I don't remember which ones come with it, to be fair. Well, next up we go to February pickups, my friends. February. Alright. This will be February 2020 again. Hopefully I didn't knock my microphone out there and OBS doesn't get mad at me. Again, that for my February pickups, like with the pickups I just showed you, that was my January pickups. There is a video for the pickups I'm about to show you, and gameplay footage included for everyone. So now we're going to go over my February 2020 video game pickups. And again, if you want to go back and check out the February edited video, that has gameplay footage for every single game. But anyway, first of all I dropped something. There we go, I'll pick that up. I've got quite a mess here, quite a mess. But then you get a close up on the beard, don't you? First of all, we have for the NES, a game crashed when you played it first time. Oh, that happens in modern games, doesn't it? That happens. They're also good, it's hard to say which favorite. Yeah, to be honest, I remember them like Uncharted 1, 2, and 3. I remember them almost like one complete narrative because the story is so good at putting them together. It almost feels like one complete game. Actually, if I can cheat, I will say the Nathan Drake collection because then I'm saying 1, 2, and 3, right? That's kind of cheating. But I will get to Uncharted 4 and the extra one as well. I think it's called Lost Legacy. I just want to play the Vita game first because that came out before it. Not only do I pick up video games, but I also drop them. You're right there. Anyway, for the February pickups, first of all we have an NES game, and that is Bionic Commando. Now this is an awesome game. Loose cartridges, of course, free screwed if you care about that sort of thing. PAL A version. This is a really awesome game, and the gimmick on this game is you don't have a jump button, but you extend a claw from your arm. If I had an extendable claw, that would be so useful. Without going into any like dirty reasons behind it. But it would be so useful just to grab stuff from the top shelf, wouldn't it? It'd be so good. I feel like getting my drink from across the table. Nice. But yeah, Bionic Commando, awesome game. There's an Xbox 360 3D Bionic Commando, but it's the NES version is where it's at. But yeah, Bionic Commando, Capcom, great game for the NES. There you go. It's the best answer. Yeah, I know. It's a cheeky answer, but it's the one I'm giving. Next up from the NES, we have Jurassic Park. Welcome to Jurassic Park. The games are moving in herds. Anyway. PAL A version, again, like many of these PAL A versions, they will be free screwed. I don't know if anyone's bothered about that, or if there is any rare variants of screw combinations like 5 screws or whatever, but I'll say it anyway as we go, because it's a loose cartridge. Cool, overhead, top-down shooter, very cool. I really like this game. It just gets quite hard as you move on, as often with NES games. The first couple of levels have you shooting down dinosaurs, and then you get this part where these dinosaurs are just charging at you and you have to dodge them, and that's where it starts to get a little bit hard. Tragic irony. Yeah, so Jurassic Park, really liked this game. It was very good. So I would recommend it. UK version, of course. The UK NES games have the round seal. The American ones have like an oval seal. If you care about that sort of thing. But there you go. Jurassic Park. You have shooters on the SNES, you can never go wrong with them. I really love retro shooters, I do. I'm a big fan of scrolling shooters as well, particularly space ones as well. The label looks cooler. Yeah, to be fair, I often feel that way with like Japanese label variants and American label variants. I think it just depends which region you're at. You're always jealous of the other side. Hey, Roughneck69, how you doing, my friend? Welcome to the stream. Bad memories of the SNES Jurassic Park. Next up, we have Kirbys Dreamland for the Game Boy. Now, I think at the time I thought I already had this, but I actually had Kirby's Pinball complete in box, which I had forever. But this one I did not have, and I think I picked this up for a couple of pounds, and it's worth a lot more than that. And if I remember correctly, this was a CEX buy, so I think I caught CEX slipping, which happens sometimes. But yeah, Kirbys Dreamland is in the official Game Boy case, which I love these cases, by the way. They're a great way to keep your loose cartridges safe. You also have, actually, for the NES, you have those rental cases. I've got a couple of those. I would love to have like a ton of those. Those would be a great way to keep my NES games safe. But I also have those My Game Vault box protectors, which are also great. Did a review of My Game Vault as well, box protectors. Anyway, Kirbys Dreamland, fantastic game. Fantastic game. First Kirby game, if I recall that correctly. It's only in black and white, but or you know, green and black if you're playing on the original Game Boy. But yeah, this exact game, yeah, this was awesome. You know, for my original Game Boy, I unfortunately no longer have my original Game Boy, but for my original Game Boy, I had one of those like massive like magnifying glass screens with lights on it that would like shine down on it, and I will play it in bed with this giant magnifying glass on it and these two lights shining down on it. I can't believe I did that. It was amazing. I mostly play Game Boy Color and Game Boy Advance games now, either through my Game Boy Player on my GameCube, on my Super Nintendo, or to be honest, on my Retro Freak, which is probably one of my preferred ways of doing it. How are you doing, by the way, Roughneck? Awesome to have you here, my friend. The next game is a Game Boy Advance game. Game Boy Advance was awesome. I think that's why I got rid of my original Game Boy. When the Game Boy Advance came out, it was so small form factor. I should have one down here somewhere. Yeah, so small form factor. This was not a pickup. I'm just using it as an example. And the screen was so good that I just had to upgrade to that. But there you go. There's the next game is a Game Boy Advance game, King Kong. How about that? Doesn't want to focus on it. Wants to focus on my shiny head or my nails. But yeah, the official game of the movie. Now, the Game Boy Advance game is kind of like a top-down action RPG, and I'm not underselling that. It is. It's very cool. It's very different. All of the games were a little bit different. I think there was another Game Boy game. I say Game Boy. I think it was actually a DS game. And I believe it was different. Really shoddy. I put a clip-on light. Yeah. Those things were. I mean, it wasn't a great attachment, but I loved it all the same. There you go. King Kong, the official game of the movie. This is actually not that bad. February pickups, so you can see gameplay footage for it in that. Next up, we move on to the PlayStation 1 for the February pickups, and we have Vagrant Story. This is a really interesting game, and it is an RPG. It is turn-based, but it's also kind of tactical as well. Kind of tactical. Very cool game. You also kind of pick body parts as you go. One of the characters, I think it's the bad guy, his outfit, he's got like low-cut jeans with like almost like an unzipped fly kind of gimmick, and it goes right down to where his junk should be. Yeah, it was very interesting. I don't know what was going on with that, but pretty interesting. There's the manual there, and advertisement of Final Fantasy VIII on the back of the manual as well. I'll see if I can find a picture of him, of the dude. I don't know if it'll look the same in the manual. There he is. So like I don't know what's going on. If he's like smooth down there, like Action Man or something, but it goes. his pants are like open way far down to like where there should be something. That's not why I bought the game. That's not why I bought the game. Honestly. Classic JRPGs. We're going to move on to the PlayStation 2 now, so we should probably move swiftly away from that. And you know, we're only on the second month, and I've got a year's worth of pickups to show you guys, my friends. Anyway, next one is Air Ranger Rescue Helicopters. There we go. And yeah, pretty cool game. I remember this was one of the ones that was also difficult to yeah, we're not just moving on because of how awkward that was. This is one of the games that was quite difficult to record gameplay footage for, but sometimes I will pick up like flight sim games, and they will not be so good. This one was alright, and it's exactly as you imagine. You are rescuing people from fires and bad situations in the helicopter. Yeah, it's pretty much a rescue sim game, but pretty cool. Reminds me of like some of the really old school like games, like 8-bit Star, where you would like what am I trying to say? Like almost like Choplifter, like a 3D Choplifter, except you're not firing down enemies. There you go. How about that? That's probably giving the game a bit too much of too much praise, because Choplifter is a better game. Anyway. Next one is pretty hot and is hot priced. Gun Griffin Blaze. This is a mech shooter, and the controls for this is very early PlayStation 2. The controls are really off. Like the thumbsticks don't do what you expect them to do. They move in a very weird way. Play with the chopper. Get to the chopper. Yeah. Very very weird controls. Sounded better in your head. Very weird controls. I don't quite remember, but I think it was something along the lines of maybe the thumbsticks were reversed, like your left thumbstick did what you expected your right thumbstick to do. I think it was that, but it controlled really really awkwardly, and it took a little while to get used to. But if you get used to it, this is quite a good mech shooter. Gun Griffin Blaze on PS2. Next up we have Killer 7 on the PlayStation 2. Chopper action, I know, right? This was a really interesting game. You play as a bunch of different characters, and the gameplay changes as you move on. It is a very interesting game, and I definitely need to get showing some of this game a little bit more on the channel as well through some way. Maybe like a let's play or possibly a stream down the line. Got a lot of games I want to stream though. So, but yeah, very cool. Complete with a disc and manual. Part of an extended video game series as well. So very cool bit. So I was looking for this as well. This game's supposed to get released soon? I don't know, but now you mention it, another kind of weird game got re-released recently, which was Deadly Premonition, which is not related to this really, but it was another game that's quite weird got re-released, and I kind of want to grab that. Anyway, speaking about weird, we have Mr. Bean. This is a platformer, and it's actually not that bad. It's not that bad. You'd think it's just like a cheap cash-in on a TV show. If you're not familiar with Mr. Bean, classic physical British comedy from Rowan Atkinson. If you don't know about Mr. Bean, check out Mr. Bean, the TV show. You'll love it. The comedy goes through all translation because it's all physical comedy. The type of thing that I really enjoy. And it's one of the type of comedies that does inspire me. You know, sometimes I might do the silly like Jim Carrey faces, like the rubber face antic, but I'm really into physical comedy, and it's the type of thing I enjoy. But Rowan Atkinson, he's a master of physical comedy. So definitely check out if not the game, check out Mr. Bean, the television series. Next up we have Sword of the Samurai on the PlayStation 2. This is a hack and slash game, and it's a pretty interesting one. I picked up a bunch of samurai games, and I really do enjoy them. I like the combat system; it's a little more technical. You really can't allow yourself to get hit. But yeah, this also includes the disc and the manual. No More Heroes. Yeah, that's the game he went on to make as well, which is also a really good game. But there you go. Way of the Samurai on the PlayStation 2. Mr. Bean is a cool game. I think it was also on different systems as well. It really is quite a simple platformer, but it's an enjoyable one nonetheless. We're moving on to original Xbox, and we have Atari Anthology, which is certainly nothing to sniff at. This includes 85 games that started a revolution. Now, if you didn't have an Atari, I have an Atari, and I have a bunch of Atari games. But let's say you didn't. This is a really good way to get like an instant collection. There's Atari flashback collections on the PlayStation 4, and I recommend checking them out. There are absolutely classic games out there. I think everyone should play games like Asteroids, games like games like that. Certainly, there's just absolutely amazing games on this, and some of my favorite games are Atari games. So definitely check out Atari games. If not the collection, some collection of Atari games if you're not familiar with them. That's a lot of fun. Next up, also for the original Xbox, and this only on the Xbox, is Outrun 2, a racing game, and a very cool one as well. Timed events, you have to pass the checkpoints in a certain amount of time, or the lady in your car will get very mad at you. But yeah, very cool, very highly rated game as well. 9 out of 10 from Xbox Gamer. They said it's a sequel they've been waiting for. When I got one of those handheld consoles. One handheld console I'm very into right now is the Evercade. That system has completely licensed games for it, and the cartridges are really cheap, so it's pretty sweet. Next up, for the original Xbox, we have Splat Paintball. Splat Renegade Paintball at that. Renegade! This is a third-person shooter. And, or was it first person? I can't remember. There's gameplay footage on the video for the February pickups. Actually, it's actually not that bad. I got it because I was sort of reminded of the paintball modes on GoldenEye. There you go. Evercade. It's by there you go, Splat Renegade Paintball. Actually, I'll show it. It was something I picked up. There you go. Should be down the bottom here. There we go. Got it in a case. I didn't include systems I picked up, and I didn't include plug and plays. So there you go. There it is. So there's the Evercade, and my one's the black model. But there you go. Very, very cool. And yeah, it's one of the better systems I picked up. Yeah, that's how it is. The Evercade. It's pretty cool. All of the games for it come on cartridges, and fully licensed games as well. I definitely did pick up the Evercade. I don't remember when I picked it up. It's not part of the February pickups, but it is cool. I know Sam's a big fan of it as well. Sam M as well. Look at this. I went to grab a couple of handhelds, and now they're everywhere. Anyway, next up we have Star Wars Republic Commando for the original Xbox. Yeah, pretty cool. If I remember correctly, first-person shooter. Professional. Oh, I am very, very not professional. There we go. I can't even say it. Pro. The squad is your weapon. There you go. And I was about to say a squad-based game, but I've only played the single player. You do have your control of your squad as well. Hey, I love you, my friends. Appreciate you being here and supporting the channel as well. As I ramble on and be completely crazy, I am anything but professional. Star Wars Republic Commando, very cool game, very cool. Next up, we have from the Xbox 360, as we move into modern territory, Kane & Lynch Dead Men. Now, I believe this and the next game I had the sequels to, and I played the previous games but didn't own them. So this was Kane & Lynch. Didn't have this game, so I decided to pick it up. And it's cool. It's a shooter. You can play it 2-player. This one is 60 Hz only, I believe. Some of the Xbox 360 games also played 50 Hz as well. Right, and it's complete with a disc and manual as well. Pretty cool. And yeah, it's an action game, third-person shooter. You can play it 2-player, 2 characters in it. Interesting game. Very action based. I would say that the shooting sections feel kind of like Grand Theft Auto style, but without the big open world. So yeah, very cool action game. If you haven't checked it out, it is actually genuinely a very cool, very cinematic game as well. There's other games like this, like there's a game for the PlayStation 4 and Xbox called A Way Out that I want to check out. It's also, but that one is only 2-player. This one you can play single player as well. Talking about games you can play single player. When the PS3 came out, you got that game. Yeah, it's a cool game. Another cool game is Star Wars: The Force Unleashed for the Xbox 360. Again, I had the sequel for this before I got the main game. You are the apprentice of Darth Vader. And yeah, you just get to do a load of lightsaber action. Very cool. Very cool. And yeah, complete with a disc and manual as well. And I had been looking for this. I actually really like the spine of this game, with it being yellow as well. Really stands out amongst the midst. And then finally, for the PS4 for February, that is, we had the Dark Pictures Anthology, Man of Medan. Now I know there's a new one, Little Hope, that came out recently. I do plan to stream this. I had planned to stream it a while ago, but I will be getting to it. I will be getting to it. Gonna beat that game. This is a cool game. You have for this particular game, you have to do a lot of stuff right to save everybody. You definitely do. I would say complete with it's just disc only. And there's a code in there as well, so I shall not open it. But just disc only for that one. Oh, your roommate couldn't beat that game. Your roommate hates 3D platforming? That's fair, to be honest. That is fair. The next one is Resident Evil 7 Biohazard Gold Edition. VR compatible as well. This includes End of Zoe and the banned footage. Now, I did pick this up to stream the extra content from Resident Evil 7 that I hadn't streamed previously. And yes, this also includes the disc. There's an advertisement for Not a Hero, which is free DLC on that as well. Danger Zone, yeah, we're gonna get to Danger Zone again at some point. We'll get to some of these 2-player games as well. The Evercade is amazing. Yeah, it's really awesome because like they did the Link's collections as well, and like it's all fully licensed stuff. So like the makers of the games are getting something for it as well. So you know it's the right way to do it as well. But yeah, very cool. I grabbed this because there was some of the DLC, and it's all on the disc except the free one as well. The show Archer, I love that show, animated show, pretty cool. Yeah, I wanted some of the DLC, and it was cheaper to get this than to get the DLC by itself. So pretty cool. Got that second hand as well. I believe I got it from a place called the Gold Mine in Newquay as well. But yeah, so I haven't included some of my I haven't included some of the plug and plays I got. So I've also picked up. As you guys know, I picked up like the Mega Drive Mini and things like that. I did unboxings for them. I didn't include them on it. I just picked up the games. I also, as I showed in the midst of the February pickups, I also picked the Evercade, which is by Blaze Entertainment, and they've done a bunch of great stuff recently. Very cool. It's a very cheap console to pick up. I did an unboxing video for the Evercade, which includes gameplay footage as well. So I'd recommend checking that as well. Lana, you know the actress for Lana is now the host of the voice actress, I should say, voice actor is now the host of Whose Line Is It Anyway, which is another show I really like. It's pretty cool. Anyway, so that was February pickups. We shall move on to the next month. We shall move on to March 2020, which I have in front of me. Oh boy, okay. We're going to start off with some NES games. And again, as with all of the other pickup videos, there is gameplay footage included for every video game pickup. If you check out the video game pickup videos themselves. So this is March, and the first one is Double Dragon for the NES. I also have the Protector here, and I have the manual, which is this way around, included. So there you go. The manual is in really rough shape, but at least it's in here, right? It's better than not having the manual included, which has all of the weapon attacks in there as well. I like having these protective cases because they're very good to keep the manuals safe. And there you go, Double Dragon, classic NES game. Didn't have 2-player. The Genesis version, or I should say the Mega Drive version, did. But yeah, these slipcovers are very useful to keep the manuals in as well. So I like that as well. Double Dragon 2, you like that as well? Yeah, that's pretty cool. I think we actually are going to be showing another Double Dragon game in just a moment as well. But yeah, okay. Aisha Tyler, yeah, is the host for Whose Line Is It Anyway now. Great show. I really love that. But yeah, Double Dragon 3 is the next one. Indeed, made you wait on that one, right? Made you wait on it. The anticipation is palpable. Double Dragon 3. So I actually don't have Double Dragon 2. Double Dragon 3 is very hard. Do you like it hard? Anyway, Double Dragon 3. PAL A, 3 screws again, if you care about that. Double Dragon was also, it should have been 3 screws. It is indeed 3 screws for Double Dragon 1. I don't think we're going to see much variant unless I have any of the American games. But yeah, Double Dragon 3, it's a tough game. It is a great game, but it is a tough game. PAL A version, yeah, cool game. Tough though, tough one. It's tough. Alright, do you yeah, I see you laughing, Roughneck, but I bet you like it. Can't even finish it. And the next one is Little Nemo the Dream Master for the NES. Awesome game, platformer. In this game, you can take control of the creatures in the game, and they will give you special abilities. And you need to do that to move on through the level. UK version, PAL A, 3 screws, if you care about that sort of thing, if you care about it. There's something about the tactile feel of NES games that to me is just very retro. Like, there's something, especially when you stack up NES cartridges. I know they were designed, the overseas versions were designed to look like videos. VHSs, that is, videotapes. And maybe that's what I like about them so much, that they have this big artwork and they have this form factor. There's just something about NES cartridges that I just really love. But there you go. Also have the one of the slip covers. I've got a couple more slip covers that I'm actually using. A couple of them are like actually directly up there on top of that stack of shells, which is 2 shells taped together. Anyway, should I have a dramatic pause coming to this next one? But I feel I should I'll put the slip cover the right way around this time as well. Dramatic pause as I have a oh, never mind. We have McDonald's Land, which I believe overseas is called MC Kids. And this is a platformer. It's not that bad actually. McDonald's definitely had more of a scope back in the day. Again, this is PAL A, 3 screws, as was Little Nemo. The Nintendo definitely had more of a scope. You know, the TV commercials, figures. They would have Nintendo figures in the Happy Meals, and they had video games. And McDonald's Land, also known as MC Kids, was, yeah, you forget this is the thing, right? It was a thing. It's an interesting game. It's not actually that bad a game. It's essentially a Mario clone at its core. But yeah, there you go, McDonald's Land. Next one is, without any pause, is Mission Impossible. I misspoke earlier with Impossible Mission for the start of the stream. And yeah, Impossible Mission. Mission Impossible, and misspoke again. PAL A, 3 screws, UK version. It is a top-down shooter. I know, like, the irate gamer really dislikes this game. It's not that bad. It's not like angry video game nerd bad. It takes a little bit to get used to at the start. You need to just move to the appropriate area, and then you can start taking out enemies. But other than that, it's not that bad a game. It's got some like RPG elements to it. You need to speak to different people. to gather items. You also need to yeah, you need to get the right items, do the right things as well. But yeah, pretty cool, pretty cool. Alright, next up, another NES game, and I believe this is like the cheapest NES game I've ever picked up. And it is Tecmo World Wrestling. I got this at CX, and I want to say I paid like £2 for it. And this is not that bad a game. PAL A version, free screws UK version. This is not that bad a game. It has commentary. Hey Benjamin, how you doing, my friend? Welcome to the stream. Good to see you, buddy. It has commentary for every single move as well, and special moves that has like special animations for them. So it's actually pretty fun. In terms of the retro wrestling games, this one's up there, pretty good, and it was like £2 as well, so I can't complain about that. I'm making a massive stack of games next to me that is definitely going to fall over. So yeah, I'm going to move these somewhere. I'll figure out where I'm putting these games as I'm going, because fair few games to show you. Next up, we have a Game Boy game, and that is Tetris Attack. Attack of the Tetris. Interesting game, variation on the Tetris puzzle gameplay. I don't like it as much as Tetris, which is often the way with these Game Boy games. The cover looks like something McMahon would think of for the wrestling game. Yeah. Yeah, it's a puzzle game. It's an interesting one. That's on the Super Nintendo too. Yeah, the Super Nintendo one will probably look a bit nicer as well. Tetris Attack is a puzzle game. It's not as good as Tetris, but it is still a fun Tetris game. I would say, and I'm probably going to sound like the Tetris Attack marketing team here, but if you played Tetris to death, then maybe try Tetris Attack. It has a variation of the gameplay where you're playing it differently. But yeah, you'll probably want to be playing Tetris. That's how I feel about it. It's same I feel about Tetris 2. When I'm playing Tetris 2, I really feel like I want to be playing Tetris. For the Game Boy Color, we have Reservoir Rat. This is a platformer. It is in color. I believe this is called Rats overseas. It's just called Rats. And the cover for this is very dirty. I'm so dirty. Do you like it dirty? And never mind. It's a cool platformer. He's got like a machine gun as well. It's actually pretty interesting. I don't believe I ever ran into this game before picking it up. And actually, I believe I picked this up with a ton of Game Boy games, really cheap at a CEX. And recently, I found a Game Boy game in my bag, like my satchel I take out for game hunting. I found a Game Boy game in there, which I must have picked up around about the same time, and it was so inconsequential I forgot about it, but I'll show that at some other point, assumingly. But yeah, just found a Game Boy game in my bag today. That's how many games I've got, right? Just find them in your bag. Anyway, Reservoir Rat on the Game Boy Color. Next up, we have a very good game. And it is, for the Game Boy Advance, we have Banjo Pilot. It's never going to focus on this. Yeah, there, it does there. The Game Boy cartridges, when I'm doing my pickup videos, my edited pickup videos with the gameplay footage included, the Game Boy cartridges are the worst for the camera focus, because my camera focus is better than my webcam does, of course. But nevertheless, pushing these up to the camera and getting it to focus is a nightmare. Normally I have to cut between them. But then that's a little bit of editing for you. Banjo Pilot is at its core a Mario Kart clone. It's actually not that bad. Would you rather be playing Mario Kart in the same way that you would rather be playing Tetris than Tetris Attack? Probably. But it's actually pretty cool. You're riding aircraft rather than ground vehicles, karts I should say. It's a Rareware game, so it is pretty good as well. Banjo Pilot, the game that escaped from developmental hell. Yeah, I mean, to be fair, it's quite good. There's another kart racing game that I think we'll get to down the line as well that I like even more than this on the Game Boy Advance. But yeah, I think Banjo Pilot, not that bad. All right, I went out of order because I have a big stack of games next to me, just as planned, or maybe not just as planned, like with the Final Fantasy. For the Super Nintendo, we have James Bond Jr. And this game is like a mix of scrolling shooter and platformer. And yeah, it's pretty cool. Now, if you're not familiar with what PAL Super Nintendo games look like, they have the same sort of cartridge case as Japanese Super Nintendo, Super Famicom games. There are no end labels, which is very frustrating. And yeah, but there you go. James Bond Jr. has a mix of shooter and platformer parts. Pretty cool, pretty cool. Meant to be Diddy Kong Racing. You know, it actually has a Diddy Kong feel to it. Diddy Kong Racing feel, I should say. So that's not that surprising, actually, but it's a cool game, regardless. Diddy Kong Racing, flying and racing. But James Bond Jr. And James Bond Jr. was a cartoon show as well. Next up, for the PlayStation 1, we have Psychic Force. This is a one-on-one fighting game. It's got a lot of animation in the intro. And it's a really cool game. Pretty fun to play. It's got a lot of animation to it. The reflective cases of these mean it's never going to focus on it. But yeah, one-on-one fighting game. And you have like, it's almost like an arena fighting. You have an arena you can fly around. I have the disc and manual in here. Yeah, it feels like one of the early like arena fighting games more than it does a one-on-one fighting game, because you're not stuck to one plane. You can move around, but you also move around in the air and fly around, a bit like the later Dragon Ball Z fighting games would be. A little bit like that. Next up, onto the PlayStation 2. You've been playing a lot of fighting games recently. Maybe you pick that one up. It's not that bad actually. It is a PlayStation 1 early 3D fighting game, so you've got the kind of feel about that. But regardless, I think it's pretty good. Next up, we have Virtua Cop Elite Edition for the PlayStation 2. By the way, it's definitely better than the Star Wars fighting game on PS1. This is a combination of Virtua Cop games into one disc. And you guys know me, I love light gun games. My CRT TV is currently broken. I've been looking on Facebook Marketplace to try and get another CRT TV, because it looks like nobody will fix my old CRT TV. But Facebook Marketplace, and I'm going to digress into another topic here, is full of resellers right now. I mentioned previously with my pickups, when I grabbed that Pac-Man stuff, that I knew a reseller was gonna grab it, and I ended up finding it at a reseller. Funny enough, Faceless Monkey, but I love that guy, so I let it slide. I let it slide. So I didn't manage to get the Pac-Man LCD game. I did manage to get some Pac-Man GBA games, which I showed at the end of the stream, and they'll be in a future pickup video. Anyway, I'm going off topic. I'm seeing a lot of Facebook posts of like loads of cool stuff, and then it'll have like a low price, and you go on it, and they'll say like, not selling, buying. And the worst one was like a bunch of like common DS games, and it was like 3 cases. I was like, okay, 3 cases, I might need some DS cases, because I bought a GBA game with a loose manual, and I might put it in a GBA case. A DS case, because they have GBA cartridge slots. And it said 3 cases might already have sold. However, I'm buying stuff, and it's like it's another reseller, and so many of the I turn my nose up at them. So many of the posts on Facebook Marketplace right now are resellers. It's very frustrating. It's another reason to get mad at Facebook. I only use Facebook for a group chat for D&D, just like I mostly only use Discord for voice chat for D&D. Hey Wojciech, how you doing, my friend? Welcome to the stream. Anyway, Virtua Cop Elite Edition. There's my little rant over. Disc and manual in there. I love light gun games. I will have, I've got a widescreen Sony Trinitron that's currently in my garage. So worst comes to worst, I can use that. It's just massive. It's absolutely massive. And the alignment of the picture is a little bit off, so if I have to use that, I'll use it, but I'd rather get like a 4x3, like a smaller Trinitron instead, even if it's not Sony one. I would love a Trinitron, but it can't be picky, they're hard to find. How are you doing, by the way, Wojciech? Next up for the PSP, we have the PlayStation Network Collection Power Pack. I have the power! What am I doing? It has Beats, and it has Flow, which is an amazing game. Flow is really fun. And it also has Siphon Filter Combat Ops, which I can't play because it needs an online collection. So you cannot play Siphon Filter Combat Ops at all, which is third-person online shooter. You can play Flow, which is kind of like, it's a very relaxing, I would call it closest to a space shooter, but you really just go around and you pick up things and evolve. And then Beats is a rhythm game. They're both really good games. Only UMD only in there, no manual. Also for the PSP, we have Silver 4, which is a role-playing game. This was also on the PC, and it has an expansion on the PC. It's very much like one of those old-style PC role-playing games, except I guess the combat is more akin to like the later PlayStation 2 role-playing games like Baldur's Gate on the PS2 rather than the PC, which I guess is a more accurate representation of it, as I changed my mind. They're complete with the UMD and the manual, Silver 4. Cool game as well. I like this one. Good game. And then another game that I quite like, from a series that I enjoy, it is Space Invaders Evolution. The evolution of Space Invaders actually came to us from Rising Star Games, which is unusual. They do a lot of ports of unusual Japanese games. So it's interesting to see them do a Space Invaders PSP port. It's a very kind of wacky, not as wacky as like Invasion Day on the PS2, but quite wacky visually. Game. There's been many attempts to modernize Space Invaders, and the gameplay really is classic as it is. But there you go, Space Invaders Evolution for the PSP. The next two games are collector's editions, which I already had, but I did not have the collector's editions for. And like I said, my top 10 video, which I will be doing gameplay footage for live down the line, will not include games I already had. So these are exempt, even though this game would definitely be exempt. And that is Two Worlds, the Collector's Edition. Now, I actually really like this game. It just has so much wrong with it. The frame rate, and I'm normally not someone that complains about frame rate, but the frame rate is terrible. It has so many glitches. It's a cool game. This version comes with a tabletop RPG book. And it comes with all of the extras and stuff, like this massive manual and all of this stuff, which I love all the extras. But the game, it just runs so badly. If it's all you had, then I would take it. But this came out 360 era. You could play Skyrim. It's a cool game. It just runs really badly, which is a shame. And it runs badly on the PC as well, because I had the PC version before I grabbed this, hoping this version would run better, and it didn't. It also ran bad. This next game, however, if I was including, hey Victory Leo, how you doing, my friend? Welcome to the stream. If I was including games I already own different versions of in my top 10, this would obviously be in my top 10. And it is Alan Wake, and this is the collector's edition. This was awesome. I've been looking for this. Comes with a bunch of stuff. Very happy with this. One of my favorite games of that decade. Comes with a collector's book, a bonus disc, and a soundtrack. Love the soundtrack as well. Look at the packaging. It comes in a book-like packaging. Love it. So awesome. And it comes with a book. Comes with a game, and it comes with the extras as well. Actually, the only complaint I would have about this is that the bonus discs are a little hard to take out. Look at that, the Alan Wake files. It's a full book with all the extra stuff. Hey, no worries, no Jonan. Appreciate you dropping by, my friend. Good night, and I will catch you next time. But you got loads of extra information in here, some of the characters and all that stuff. Pretty awesome. Pretty awesome. Good night, Jonan. I'll see you next time, buddy. And I will catch you next time. Alan Wake the game, of course, which has one of the bonus discs in it, I think. I've actually got the soundtrack in there because it's easier to take out of there. And then the bonus discs are in here. And they're pretty hard to take out. So I will leave them in there. But there you go. Yeah, my only complaint is that the case is a bit awkward. You're good, Victory Leo? That's good to hear, my friend. I'm glad you're doing well. Appreciate you dropping by for the stream. Where, yeah, Alan Wake... If I didn't already own it, and this was just to get the collector's edition, it would definitely be in my top 10. There you go, Alan Wake, the collector's edition. And then the last for that month is the PlayStation 4, and it is The Last of Us Remastered. And this is the Day 1 edition, which I'm not even sure what that includes, but there you go. The Day 1 edition. And the PS4 version, I believe, also included the DLC on the disc, regardless of what edition you had. Which was cool, if I remember that correctly. This is the Game of the Year, is it? No, it just says over 200 Game of the Year awards. There you go. It also has like a little card with the controls on it, and the disc in there as well. And that was the last pickup for that month. And as you guys know, I ended up streaming this version of the game. Having previously played it on the PlayStation 3, I decided to go ahead and stream the PS4 version, because I want to give you guys the best quality version that was out there. And those were my March video game pickups. So it just remains for us to scroll over to the next month of pickups, which will be my April pickups. I did an April Fool game hunting video in CEX, and that was an April Fool's, my CEX game hunting video, because I normally would not include CEX in my game hunting videos, but because it was an April Fool's, I did. So, but anyway, on to April. We have the first game is a Sega Master System game, and it is a loose cartridge, and I think I got this from Big E's Games and DVDs. And it is in very rough shape. And it is Bomber Raid for the Sega Master System. It looks like it's been through a Bomber Raid. It is very beat up. Not sure if you guys can see how wrecked it is. There you go. But yeah, it's in very rough shape. You have The Last of Us Remastered. DLC no book in yours. I'm not sure it comes with a manual, to be fair. Sakura Wars. I think I have a Sakura Wars game. Last of Us 2. I haven't got Last of Us 2 yet, but I know it was much requested. I remember many people requested it, but a lot of people requested Red Dead 2 around about the time of that release. But I'll get it eventually. Like I said, I don't often get the new games when they're out. But Bomber Raid. It's a scrolling shooter, and it's a good one at that. Was very happy to find this. Very happy. Very cool game. Bomber Raid. Next up, for the Game Boy, we have a classic, and it is Dr. Mario. The Doctor is in, and it really doesn't want to focus on that. Like I said, I had problems with these Game Boy games on the on the videos, so I'll just move it back. You know what Dr. Mario looks like. I had whenever I do my video game pickups for Game Boy games, I often have to hold them there until it focuses and then edit it. But then I'm editing those videos anyway, and they include gameplay footage. I have the Wii and PS2 versions of Sakura Wars. I think I've got one of the Wii versions. Anyway, Dr. Mario is a classic game. Love this game on the NES and Game Boy. It's a puzzle game. Definitely a fantastic puzzle game at that. You organise the pills as they drop into the bottle to destroy the germs. Great game. There's not really much else I can say about this, except it's a fantastic game. Next up, we have Resident Evil Gaiden for the Game Boy Color. Fantastic game. Also doesn't want to focus on it, but I digress. Fantastic game. Actually fairly rare. I could only get it in a loose cartridge because this is incredibly expensive in the box. The loose cartridge is much more reasonable. It goes from around about £60, I believe, to somewhere probably around about 80. I definitely paid less than that for it. But yeah, Resident Evil Gaiden. As you guys know, I've been on the quest to complete every single Resident Evil single player game. And at the time of this video, I have done just about everyone. And speaking of streams, I have streamed this game. I streamed this game all the way through, and we completed it. And I love this game. I really do love this game. There's another obscure 8-bit Resident Evil game that I do not love as much, and we will get to that. But this one I really love. Actually surprised that I can't remember if this is going to be on my top 5 games or not. Top 5 horror. It really should be, because this is awesome. But I might have just forgotten about it. But I have already streamed this regardless. But we'll see. I'll leave you guys guessing about the top 5 horror games. But definitely an amazing game. Resident Evil Gaiden for the Game Boy Color. Love this game. Love it. Absolutely love it. On to the Mega Drive. First of all, we have Jungle Strike, the sequel to Desert Strike. And yeah, this is cool. I believe I found this in a charity shop, if I remember correctly. And yeah, I can't remember if it is complete or not, but we shall take a look. It's in a My Game Vault box protector. Very cool game. Looks like isometric angle shooter game. And it is just the cartridge in there. Has one of those different size cartridges as well. Pretty cool. There you go. Electronic Arts did those weird cartridges as well. Echo the Dolphin. You know, I actually don't have a copy of Echo the Dolphin. I think because it's so common, I keep passing by it. But I need to grab that game. I need to grab a copy of it. Alright, next up we have Mega Games 1. Another game I should have a copy of, but I don't. So I've had Mega Games 2 forever. Like forever. And that's got like Streets of Rage on it. Or is that Mega Games 3? I forget. There's 3 of them, I can tell you that. This game is known as Triple Score overseas. And we got 3 of them over here, but overseas only got 1. We got more than 3 if you count the Classics Games Collection, which includes Gunstar Heroes, which I also have. And this includes Columns, fantastic game, and Super Hang-On, and World Cup Battalion 90. Now, Columns is my favourite game on this collection. And that is a big fan. That's a game I like. Is this rare? This is not a rare game. Echo the Dolphin is also not rare, but it's probably I've come across it a lot. But yeah, this game is very, very common over here. It's got, I think, two of the manuals in here of the 3. Like I said, there were 3 double packs out there, and I loved the second one. Loved it to death. The classics collection actually has Gunstar Heroes on it, and it is more common and cheaper than buying Gunstar Heroes. So you heard it from me. There you go. And it is a legit release. Next up for the this is actually a Genesis version, funnily enough. I didn't realise this when I picked it up. I thought it was a Mega Drive version because I'm in the UK. It is Streets of Rage. I had this on the Mega Games 2 game for the longest time, so I did not need a single version of it. But I found this in I believe it was in a charity shop, and it is the Genesis version. I think it's on a game hunting video, in fact. And yeah, I did not have this in its own case. I had it on the Mega Games 2. It is complete with a disc and manual. The cartridge and manual. It's bad enough that the cartridges used to be mislabeled as videos, but there's me calling it a disc. Awesome game, as you guys know. Fantastic game. I can't really say enough good things about it. An absolute classic. Streets of Rage. Glad to have it complete in the box with the disc and manual, even if this is the Genesis version, not the Mega Drive version. Gunstar Heroes. Yeah, it is a great game. I have Gunstar Heroes. I only have it on that collection because it is a bit expensive, but it is the full version on that collection, and it is a legit version. It's behind me. I've shown it off before. For the PS1, we have Breakout. Now, this is a Breakout 3D version, and it is, man, it's not the best. There are other versions of Breakout that I love a lot more. Like, this is they kind of tried to do like a storyline behind this, like story of Bat meets Ball. So there's like I think you're bats. There's like a lady bat, and they get captured by some evil demon, and yourself, I think your name is Batanex, have to go save them. You're in a dungeon. You have to escape the dungeon, and it's just it didn't need it. It's Breakout, but great Atari game nonetheless. I prefer more original versions than this version. It's interesting. Anyway, Breakout on the PlayStation 1. Actually, I might be able to swing back and grab the Classic Collection. There's me reclining, very relaxed stream. Can I grab it from here, I wonder? Can I grab it from here? We shall see. We shall see. Yes, I can. Or can I? Can I? I'm going to go around and grab it. I'll be right back, my friends. I'm not going anywhere. You haven't lost me. There we go. So the one I was just talking about, this isn't part of my pickups, but it is there, the Classics Collection. I figured since I'm talking about it, same way with those handhelds, I might as well show it. So there's the Classics Collection. It does include Gunstar Heroes. This was a PAL release, and it is a real release. And it includes Gunstar Heroes. And this is a good. Cheaper to get this than it is to get Gunstar Heroes if you didn't have a copy of Gunstar Heroes. But that's not part of my my April pickups. Anyway, let's move on to the. We're on the PlayStation 1. Move back to the Mega Drive for a second. There we go. We have Shoot. This is a game which is rather uncommon. It's not rare, but it's uncommon. And I had been looking for this for a while, and I found it, I believe, at Big E's Games and DVDs. And it is just a collection of, like, I would say on-rail shooters, but it's more sort of one screen. It's like six games, 7 games, sorry, of just staying on one screen and shooting. Well, I'll go on rails because some of them are aircraft games, but they're just shooters, almost like light gun shooters, but you use a controller. There you go, and it's uncommon. I believe I have 2 discs for this because it had 2 discs in it. He had like one loose disc. He just threw in the loose disc. Yeah, so cool game. It is very uncommon. This is a German version, but it's not like the language means anything to it. There's no language barrier whatsoever because you just shoot stuff. As the name suggests, shoot on the PlayStation 1. Uncommon game. Uncommon game. On the PS2, a better version of Breakout that I like. It is Buster Block on the PlayStation 2. Now this is a Midas release, very much a budget release. I actually like this a lot more than the previous Breakout game I showed you. This is a lot more fun. I'm a big fan of Breakout style games, and this one is definitely a good. You can see gameplay footage for it on the April pickup video. Good game. I did enjoy this one. You do get 3D elements as well, so it is very crazy and cool. But yeah, Buster Block on the PlayStation 2. I actually really like that game. Also on the PlayStation 2, we have Capcom Fighting Jam. This is my jam, baby. Get ready for the ultimate fight. Bunch of Capcom characters on this collection. Very cool to find this. I believe I found this at CEX, and yeah, pretty cool. Pretty cool. I've been trying to get more into fighting games. I pretty much just press buttons when I play fighting games. I press buttons and hope for the best. Just press all the buttons. But yeah, there you go. Capcom Fighting Jam. For the PlayStation 2 again, we have Curry Curry Mix. This is known overseas as The Adventures of Cookie and Cream. And this is a cooperative, although you can play it single player. It is a cooperative game. You have 2 characters on either side of the screen, moving in unison. If you're playing it single player, you have to move both characters with both thumbsticks. And it's very hard. Very well playing it 2 player. Cool game, very colourful, very cool. You also have boss battles in this game as well. Very cool 3D platform where you move up the screen and do stuff. Yeah, I really like this game, but it's definitely better played 2 player than it is played with 1 player. Next up we have Sonic Riders for the PlayStation 2. Ride on! This is a racing game where Sonic, who is supersonic fast, needs to ride on a hoverboard. And he can take this on water, despite what Biff says in Back to the Future. Even without power, maybe it is powered, but he can put it on the water. I don't really get why they're on hoverboards. Sonic is very fast. I don't get why he's on a hoverboard, maybe to make it fair. This was one of the games I had difficulty recording. I don't know what it is about this game. I know Sonic racing games, like Sonic R, for example, have always been a bit, always been a bit polarizing. And yeah, I like Mario Kart, you know. I like what I like. Next up we have War of the Monsters. This is a Sony game, and it is definitely a Godzilla, like, Destroy All Monsters ripoff, like Melee ripoff. And there's not really much to say about it except it is a Godzilla ripoff. You're playing giant monsters. There's even, you know, right on the cover there's a King Kong ripoff. But yeah, it's actually a really good game. It's very well done. It's got that kind of old style TV theme to it, and it is very enjoyable. So despite the fact that it is a clear clone of another game, it's not that bad. Not that bad. For the PSP, we have Tenchu, Time of Assassins. Cool game, stealth game, but you don't have to play stealth. You don't have to be locked into that stealth. You can go out there and hack and slash. The assassins are back. Enjoyable game, I will say. I do like the Tenchu games. I like that you have the choice on what you want to do. There's also boss battles in this game as well, so you can't fully rely on stealth anyway. But yeah, Tenchu, Time of Assassins. The Assassin's time is now. Alright. Next up is a UMD video, but I counted it in the game collection, so I've been looking for this for a while, and it is the Silent Hill experience on the PSP. I tested each game. These are all games from my video game pickups videos. So I have a video game pickups video series on the channel. There's a playlist for them as well. And for every single one of these games, there is gameplay footage that I have recorded in those videos. So normally, this is like a live special, but normally these videos will be fully edited and include gameplay footage throughout. So yeah, you can check them out. Normally the feature video on my channel will be a pickups video as well, or a game hunting or something like that. But yeah, there you go. I have tested. They all work, and I have recorded gameplay footage for every single one of these, including this one actually. It's got some comic books in it as well. But that's for my regular videos. There you go. Not fully edited. Well, my edited videos are a lot more concise. There you go. But yeah, it takes like a month to do the pickup videos, but I do one for every month. The current one is out right now. Normally the feature video is on my channel. There you go. For the December one is out now. You see the December pickups at the end of this video, but gameplay footage for every one of them is included, of course. Anyway, Silent Hill experience. There's music on this. There's comic books. There's trailers. Pretty cool. You can sort of move around. It's like, I would say it's like one of those DVD extra features. If you know what I mean. Like the early DVDs had very involved extra features and cool menus. This is like that. Pretty cool. For the PS3, we have Ratchet and Clank, A Crack in Time. I only have 3 PSP games. I've got quite a lot of PSP games now. I went through a period of finding a lot of them, and now I'm not finding many again. There you go. Hey, Fear the Pack, how you doing, my friend? Welcome to the stream. Ratchet and Clank is another game series I really need to climb that mountain and play all of them. There's a lot of them, and they do look enjoyable as well. I know there's a new one out as well, or coming. And this one is complete with disc manual as well. You love the Tenchu games? Yeah, I got a bunch of them from like the PS1 onwards. They are cool games indeed. Next up, for the Xbox One, I got this at £2 at charity shop, I remember that. And it was Star Wars Battlefront 2 Xbox One version, but I paid £2 for this. Silent Hill is a classic, it is indeed. I want to play some more Silent Hill again. This includes the disc and a bunch of codes, which I'm not really sure what they're for, but it does have the disc in there. But yeah, I played the single player for this, and I actually quite like it. So getting this for £2 was definitely a good deal. I can't complain about that. £2 is just about right for me. One of few games I did buy new for the pickups is the Final Fantasy VII and Final Fantasy VIII Remaster Twin Pack. I got this from Play Asia. PS2. Yeah, I got a lot of PS2, like probably more than most at PS2, because PS2 is real cheap. Hey, Star Wars. Silent Hill is the best. I got this from Play Asia. I was very excited. I believe both of these games have had, or at least one of them has had a PS4 physical release since then. Yeah, so but I thought this might be the only way to get the remasters. I wanted the Final Fantasy VIII remaster. They changed, they hadn't changed, sorry, but they'd gone through and they redid the character models for this. And yeah, so I wanted to grab that. But there you go. I got this from Play Asia. And it was still cheaper than most new games as well. Got the black label of, there's nothing else other than the cartridge in there. They're a little disappointing on the inside. Black labeled Final Fantasy VIII. Yeah, I got the black label for FF8. And also at the start, near the start of the video, you would have seen the collector's edition for Final Fantasy VIII, which was pretty awesome. There you go. But yeah, for Final Fantasy VII, I've only got the platinum. I've had the platinum since, you know, the day I had it. But yeah, I wanna upgrade that at some point to the black label. Anyway, those are all of the April 2020 pickups. We're gonna move on. Oh my goodness, to the May pickups, and just checking I have the right stack. And we will go over the video game pickups for May. Like I was mentioning previously, All of these games I'm about to show you for the month that I picked them up in. Epic, I know, right? I was so happy when I found that. All of the games I'm going to show you, this is the May pickups. I have done a video for my May video game pickups, which you can see on my channel. That is an edited video, and it includes gameplay footage for every game picked up. So if you want to see gameplay footage for anything you see throughout this video, I have done a video for the game, and there is gameplay footage for it. So for the May pickups, the first one is an NES game, and it is Burai Fighter for the NES. UK version, PAL, 3 screws. The top, I don't know if you guys can see that, but the very top has been like chewed by something. Gross! I don't know what happened there. But yeah, it is a scrolling shooter game. Very cool. I enjoy this game a lot. I was very happy to find a bunch of shooter games at once, because I'm a big shoot 'em up fan. So finding that was amazing, so I'm glad to have that. And yeah, you guys know me, I love my shooters, which brings me on to the next game. Also an NES game. This is a USA version, funnily enough. So there you go. USA version of Section Z. Now, it's kind of deceptive because the seal is circular, but it does say USA version. So it'll say UKV if it's UK, and for the USA version, you say, "Hey, Sarumaru, Polymaru, how you doing, buddy? Welcome to the stream." This is 5 screws, so you can tell it's American. But yeah, has that weird like Capcom inner border thing, which I'm not sure what the deal is. But very cool shoot 'em up game. You get to play as the character, and you can also move around on this one as well. You can go like up and down through doors. Hey, appreciate you stopping by, Sarah, and dropping a like. Love you, my friend. Thanks for stopping by, and I'll see you next time. I said it too many times. I got a bit creepy, didn't I? Anyway, five screws on that one. There's me screwing up. There you go. Screw that. Anyway, next up we have another NES game shooter. As you guys know, I love my shooters. I love my shooters. I do love my shooters. Twin Cobra. Another cool shooter. This one is a USA version, and this one is not deceptive. You can tell it's USA because of the oval. Well, of course it says USA on it, but because of the oval Nintendo sticker, you can tell it's a USA version, as opposed to the UK versions we would have over here. This one, however, is only 3 screws, so I guess that's kind of an oddity in America. I don't know. I'm a UK gamer. Most of ours are 3 screws. But yeah, Twin Cobra, another shooter. I love shooters. They're really good games. If you don't have a lot of time to sink into gaming, then you can just boot up a shooter and then shoot stuff. But how about that? Pretty awesome. You used to think blowing on the cartridge? Yeah, I mean, blowing on cartridge is bad. You've been guilty of that, Victory Leo? Yeah. I was going to do a video, and I actually I recorded doing a video of how to clean cartridges. But I think it's so common knowledge now, and there's so many videos about how to do that. But I just didn't bother ever publishing it. But I did record footage for it. At one point, I just never published it. But I personally use isopropyl alcohol and a Q-tip. But I have been guilty of using the wrong substances. I believe at one point I used white spirit, which is very bad. That might strip the contacts, but I still use that if I can't get it to work with isopropyl alcohol. I think it's common knowledge to like use the right stuff to clean your cartridges if you are a retro gamer with a lot of NES games. I think most people who have problems with their NES cartridges will definitely look up how to do it and find out very easily, because it's everywhere. Like, you know, there's a million videos on it. So I didn't bother doing that video. Well, I did, but never released it. Anyway, we're on to Game Boy Color. The first one is Pocket Bomberman. Will it fit in my pocket? I've got something in my pocket for you. Give it a little squeeze and say, how do you do? It's not going to focus. I don't know why I'm saying that. You need? Maybe I should dig it out and edit it. I don't know if I even have the I don't know if I even have the footage. Yeah, I think the thing was that if you blow on it, you'll get the dust particles off, but you'll also get the moisture from your breath on it. Yeah, which is not good. Anyway, Pocket Bomberman, great Bomberman game. If I remember correctly, this is the side-scrolling Bomberman, which is more like an RPG, which is really cool. Very different. Although I could no, I'm almost certain this is. I'm almost certain this is because he's got a sword on the artwork. So this is side scroll. There's artwork for. Sorry, there's gameplay footage for this on my video of the time for the May pickups. So yeah, if you want to see gameplay footage for this May pickup video, got that for a buddy. Nice. It's a great game. It is a great game. It's a lot of fun. Another great game or collection of games, and boy, top 10 pickups contender right here. The Game & Watch Gallery 2 for the Game Boy Color. Look at this beautiful artwork right here as well. Absolutely beautiful. I should probably take it out of the case if it wants to focus on it, to be fair. Absolutely amazing. A bunch of Game & Watch games on this collection, and it is a fantastic collection. This is one of the... there you go, it will come out. This is one of the double flaps cases from my Game Vault. There you go, there's the cover art. This is complete with everything in there, all of the little extras. And it's a very, very good collection of games. Cartridge is kind of loose in there. I'm not going to pull everything out, but there you go, there's the cartridge. Might be missing the manual now. No, the manual's in there. Or some paperwork's in there. I'm not going to pull it out because there'll be a bit of a mess. Anyway, I'm going to put that back in there. Hey Josh, how you doing, my friend? Welcome to the stream. How are you doing, my friend? Appreciate you passing through. What's up, buddy? I was very lucky to find this complete, and I don't recall where I found it from, but very cool. Typically now I took it out, the case isn't closing properly, but that's because the cartridge is the box is bowing ever so slightly. But yeah, these cases are very, very useful, especially if your game is in not the best shape. These cases will keep them in good shape. Well, the box, I should say, is not in good shape. They will keep them in good shape. Anyway, for the PlayStation 2, we have Final Fantasy XII role-playing game. I haven't played far past Final Fantasy X, so it's another steep hill I need to climb. RPGs tend to command a little more time than other games. I believe when I was recording gameplay footage for this, it had such long cutscenes that it was like tough to get further into it. But there you go. It has the disc. Almost called that cartridge. I almost made the reverse mistake I did earlier, and the manual in there as well. But role-playing games, I definitely want to get through all of the Final Fantasies at some point. Alright, next up for the PlayStation 2, we have Musashi Samurai Legend. Cool game, hack and slash game with a cel-shaded feel to it. FX10 2. Final Fantasy X-2 was a lot faster than Final Fantasy X. It was interesting. Yeah, cool game. You get some motorbike sections as well. Almost feels a bit Final Fantasy VII Remake at times, actually, with the motorbike sections and the hack and slash sections. Very cool game, very interesting story. Platformer, hack and slash. Musashi Samurai Legend. Next up, we have, for the original Xbox, Hunter the Reckoning Redeemer. And we'll see if I can redeem my mistakes earlier. One of the game series I've been trying to get all of these games from this series. Some of them are Xbox exclusive, some of them aren't. Disc only on this one. It's not in the best shape, but there you go. Hack and slash, third-person shooter type deal. Destroying loads of demons. It pretty much plays like the Buffy the Vampire Slayer game, if you will, but just a bit more action to it. For the PSP, we have EA Replay. I believe I found this previously, but without the actual UMD. So it was great to find this complete. This has a bunch of classic games on it. Desert Strike, Jungle Strike, and Bob, Road Rash, and Mutant League Football as well. So a bunch of great games on this collection. I like getting these collections because they're great ways to have all of those games in an easily accessible way, especially when you want to stream stuff as well. Having higher resolution versions is better as well. Next up for the PSP, we have MAC, Modified Air Combat Heroes. This is an air combat game, and it is really, really fun. It honestly is. And it goes between like racing sections and combat sections, dogfight sections. Yeah, this is really fun. This was a total surprise to me. Really cool. Modified Air Combat Heroes for the PSP. Let your body borrow, Masashi. Yeah, I've definitely lost some games to lending them out before, so I do not lend stuff out. I've definitely lost some stuff to it. Next up, we have Power Stone Collection. Power Stone, great Dreamcast arena combat games, multiplayer games. This includes 2 of those games on one UMD. So it's pretty cool. Very, very interesting games. Complete with the manual there and the UMD. So very cool. Love me some Power Stone. The gameplay for these games changes as you go through it as well. It mixes it up a lot. You have sections where you're like racing against your opponent and then fighting them as well. And there's all kinds of weapons to use. It's kind of the combat style is very similar to, like, I guess I would say Smash, but on a 3D plane as well. Hey, no worries, Brad. Appreciate you dropping by. Good luck on your shot, my friend, and I will catch you next time. I will catch you next time. I don't know why I'm saying that twice. I'll see you later, buddy. Appreciate you dropping by. Next up, we have Siphon Filter Dark Mirror. 9 out of 10 given to it from the official PlayStation 2 magazine. I believe I picked this up, or one of the Siphon Filter games, because the PSP version was uncensored and the PS2 one was censored. But I like the Siphon Filter games, stealth games. But I do like them. You guys know I'm not the best at stealth, but I really like the PlayStation 1 Siphon Filter games, so I had to pick up some more games for the series as well. Next up we have the ultimate Ghosts and Goblins. This is very cool, like a remake. Oh, well, I guess I would say reimagining, because the levels on this are different, of Ghosts and Goblins. New graphics, new areas, new gameplay. Very cool, very good version of Ghosts and Goblins. And yeah, it's no easier. It's no easier than the other versions. You can do stuff you couldn't do on the previous games, but it's not like it's an easy game. But Ultimate Ghosts and Goblins, fantastic. Contender for top 10, unless I forgot about it. We'll see. But yeah, let you guys pick your brains about what I may include for my top 10 pickups when we get there as well for the year. Ultimate Ghosts and Goblins, fantastic game, and definitely a hidden gem. If you haven't heard about it, got it before. For the Wii, we have Mortal Kombat Armageddon, and this is a fighting game that uses Wii controls. Yeah, it also includes like a Mario Kart style motor combat. See what they did there? Yeah, so that's a thing. You never thought you'd want to play a fighting game with the Wii controls, right? And I probably don't need to elaborate on that. So there you go. Mortal Kombat Armageddon Wii version also includes motor combat. And what am I doing? Next up, we move on to the Xbox 360. And we have GoldenEye Reloaded. This has a free mini strategy guide in it. I think that might be the only reason I picked this up, is for the free mini strategy guide. Because a version I had previously for another system, I think I had this on the Wii, and it did not have the strategy guide inside. So this has a mini strategy guide included. It is a first-person shooter, and it is not as good as the original. And you know, it's a tough act to follow, isn't it? But it's not as good as the original. The original is an absolute classic. This is a generic first-person shooter, but it's cool. It's cool. I do like how they changed the actors, and they did some new story. But I like the original. Hey, appreciate it, my friend. Appreciate you keeping it open. Next up, we have Lego Batman, the video game. This is a classics, ugly classics look to it. 91% from the Sun. Do I trust the Sun when it comes to video games? Anyway, oh, well, I know what the Sun shows on some of their pages. Classic bestseller award it was given, so it must be good. Likewise with other game series, there are so many Lego games, I'm not sure where to start. But I suppose you could pick a subset and go with that, right? Like Lego Harry Potter or Lego Batman, and it wouldn't really affect anything because all they're doing pretty much is making Lego the game. But they're very cool. I do enjoy Lego. Used to have Lego back in the day. Don't know where any of it might be now. Probably might step on it at some point and hurt my foot. But there you go. That's what's afoot. Lego Batman, the video game for the Xbox 360. Next up we have SSX for the Xbox 360. Like kind of a tongue twister, and this is like a remake, or I guess a reimagining of the SSX, so to just call it SSX instead of SSX whatever. My favourite is SSX Tricky. This one has like an interesting part where at the start of a race you come out from a chopper, not from Choplifter, and you do tricks on the way down, which is kind of weird. But yeah, pretty cool. Haven't played any Lego games. Yeah, it's one of those game series that I really need to figure out, like where I need to come in with. Where do I come in? Where do I get off? But anyway, we get off of this series of pickups with the Final Fantasy VII remake on the PlayStation 4. This is a not to be sold separately version. This is a bundle pack version. I think this was the deluxe edition, which I actually have next to me. I didn't put it together because I didn't want it to get crushed on the other pickups. And this includes a bunch of codes with it, but it's on 2 discs here. One of these is soundtrack, play disc, and data disc. Yeah, it's on 2 discs. But awesome remake. I really loved this remake. I really did. It had a lot of good stuff, and I might as well bring out the deluxe edition because it is right next to me. There you go, the deluxe edition. This was the version I got, and it also came with a soundtrack CD and an art book and all of that good stuff as well. Let's have a little dive into this. A little dive, but not a full dive. Let's have a look at what's in there. So what's inside of here is you got your steelbook case. You've got your art book, which looks absolutely stunning. I love getting art books in my collector's editions. Absolutely love them. There's Tifa. Favorite character, I think. Favorite character, Tifa. Love the beat 'em up action. And then there's a soundtrack CD in here as well, and there's some other stuff like some patches as well in here. Pretty cool. I showed this off a lot more in depth in the pickup video. So if you want to see it more in depth, then I would check that out. But yeah, Final Fantasy VII, the deluxe edition. There was also like a really big edition that came with a motorbike. Not an actual motorbike that you can ride. A co-worker of mine bought it, and it's very expensive. And I like to rib him, saying, "Well, you'll be driving on your motorbike then." Anyway, I digress. Those were the pickups for the May 2020. And as I mentioned before, if you want to see gameplay footage for any of them, check out my May video game pickups video. There will be gameplay footage included for every single game, and I will show you more in depth of the Final Fantasy VII Deluxe Edition. We're going to head on to June video game pickups now, which was the last of the big ones. After then, a bunch of shops were closed, and I was picking up a little less games, but then also moving down to less games and pickups made it easier to record gameplay footage as well. Like I said, it normally takes around about like a month to record gameplay footage for a pickup video and edit it all together and do the voice overdubbing and all of that stuff. So from that point on, the pickup videos got a little bit smaller, but then I showed you more of the games as well. So you definitely didn't miss out on anything. And then going forward, I may keep doing that, and I may like show the more interesting games and give them more of a spotlight. I'm not sure yet, but we'll see. Anyway, who knows about the future? What I can tell you now is that we are looking at the June video game pickups, and then likewise you can see gameplay footage for all of these in it as well. Artbook is Wild Arms 5 of the artwork. That's cool. I've got like a Wild Arms I've got a couple of Wild Arms games. I've got one of the PlayStation ones and one of the PS2 ones, but I don't recall which ones. But I did really enjoy the PlayStation 1 one back in the day. PlayStation 1 1. There you go. Almost as awkward to say as Xbox One. No, never mind. For the NES, for June pickups, we have Blue Shadow. This is missing the top of the label. The top of the label has been chewed off. It is a PAL free screw version. Yeah. This was called like Ninja Warriors or something along those lines. Shadow of the Ninja. There we go. I'm looking at my list. But there was a Ninja Return of the Ninja on the Game Boy Color, which along with this, right now, limited run games have re-released collector's edition versions of. So, but the sequel to this on the Game Boy Color, which I also have, by the way, I found in a charity shop, and that was a really good deal because that game normally goes for like £60, loose cartridge. And this are currently on limited run games. You can grab new copies of them. How cool is that? Fully licensed. Very cool. Side-scrolling ninja game. Very cool game. Very cool, very fun, as is the other game as well. Next game is Dr. Mario. Awesome puzzle game. UK version, free screws. Awesome puzzle game. There's not really much else to say about Dr. Mario except Tetris style. Awesome puzzle game. If you've never played Dr. Mario, play it. It's very fun. You might have previously seen, I picked it up on the Game Boy, but I also had to have it on the NES. And there's a lot of common NES games missing from my collection. I'm trying to fill in the gaps and rebuild my collection. Next up, we have another fairly common game, and it is Life Force Salamander. I believe this is just called Life Force overseas. In America, that is. And in Japan, I think it's just called Salamander. So it's very confusing. This is a PAL-A version, free screws. There's the free screws. Yeah, Konami shooter. Very good game, very cool. Scrolling shooter. Love it. Absolutely amazing game. Can't get enough of it. Life Force Salamander. I had been after this for a while as well. And since I found it in that condition, I found a boxed copy, so I'm unsure if I want to upgrade. But we'll see. Alright, for the Sega Master System, we have Castle of Illusions. I may not be showing these in the order that I showed them in the actual pickups, because they're just sort of piled around me, as previously you might have seen I got them out of sequence. Castle of Illusions starring Mickey Mouse. Different game to the Mega Drive or Genesis, as you might know it as game. The graphics and music for this version is very good. Hey Fangirl, how you doing, my friend? Welcome to the stream. This game looks so good. You would think it's 16-bit, but it's 8-bit. Very, very cool game. Awesome platformer with Mickey Mouse. How about that? Some of that Disney styling. And for the Sega Game Gear, I play my Sega Game Gear games and record them on the Cyber Gadget Retro Freak, by the way. And at some point I've got to get either a Hyperkin or a Cyber Gadget Game Gear converter so I can actually take the ROMs off my own cartridges, because they're like the only thing that the Retro Freak does that I have to get the ROMs for my games that I own elsewhere to put on it. Anyway, this next one is Jurassic Park for the Game Gear. Very cool game. It has platforming elements and it has vehicle elements that are shooting. Very cool. There's parts where you're in like a vehicle shooting at dinosaurs overhead, and then there's parts where you're doing platforming, side-scrolling platforming, and then there's boss fights as well. This is a really fun game. Very, very underrated, I think. Jurassic Park on the Game Gear, very enjoyable. A lot of Jurassic Park games get a bad rep because some of the point-and-click games are not so good, but some of the games are really good. So yeah, Jurassic Park on the Game Gear. How about that? Next up we have The Terminator. Dun 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 dun. Unfortunately my pun shades are broken, so I can't mimic the look. Yeah, the wreckage is gone because I broke my pun shades by doing too much punnage. But yeah, this game, it can be quite punishing. There we go, worked it in. The Terminator for the Game Gear, side-scroller shooter. And yeah, it's pretty cool. pretty cool. It's you know, movie-based games often have a tough time, don't they? Tough time. This one's pretty good. I like it. Terminator for the Game Gear. Terminator was an awesome. Yeah, it was. You know, actually, I also really enjoy the arcade, the T2 arcade game as well. And that you can play with the light gun, but I think it's better playable with a mouse because if you use a Sega mouse or something. But also there's like a Sega CD version of Terminator, which is very expensive but is very good. That I'd like to grab at some point. And then finally we have Sonic 2, at least in terms of the Game Gear. Finally, I should say, the Game Gear versions of Sonic are different to the Mega Drive, or as you may know, Genesis versions. They're much more platforming orientated because of the limited screen size than the other versions. And this is in a cool Game Gear case as well. Very cool. You see Sonic on a glider on there here as well. It also features Tails. You see Tails in the background there, creepily looking at you. Creepily looking. I don't want him. But yeah, Sonic the Hedgehog 2, more of a platformer than the other one. Same as the Master System versions though, which have a better screen size. The Master System versions were PAL, so you can get it over here. So I'd like to get. I may already have the Master System version, but I can't remember. But I'd like to get that. Next up, for the Game Boy Advance, we have Mario Golf Advanced Tour Role-Playing Golf. Now this is partners with the GameCube game, if I remember correctly. Yeah, connects with the GameCube game for additional function. But this one is more of a role-playing game, and it features like top-down role-playing action, and then the gameplay is more golf-like as well. They're very, very cool. I think this is awesome. There's a history of that with the Mario Golf games, of them being role-playing games on the handhelds and more action multiplayer games on the systems. But yeah, I think this is complete with all of the extras. I need to get. I'm not gonna take them out because the last one I couldn't fit it back in the box properly. But I need to get box protector for this. But there you go, Mario Golf Advanced Tour for the Game Boy Advance. Next up, the PlayStation 1. Army Men, Sarge's Heroes. Real men with real combat. Plastic men. How about that? What a plastic men with real combat. Anyway, Sarge's Heroes. This is a third-person shooter, and it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. Again, this is one of those games where I got wrecked on the yeah, that box is in really good shape. I have been lucky. I don't want to jinx myself, but I've been really lucky on Game Boy games boxes recently. Getting at good prices and in good condition. So let's hope long may that continue. Again, this is another game I got stuck on the on the mines section. There's a section with mines. I remember was the best thing on the PlayStation 1. It's definitely fun. There was another game previously, little bald head action there if you're a fan of it. Got the manual and the disc in here. Another one where I got stuck on the mines, so I need to give this game another chance at some point for sure. Next one is Colony Wars Vengeance. I got a lot of Colony Wars games, and I'm looking for all of them with a vengeance. 3D space shooters. They're all very enjoyable, all play very similar. And yeah, I just enjoy them. The case is kind of broken here, but it is complete with the disc and manual. Been enjoying them and been picking them up. So yeah, Colony Wars Vengeance. Got a lot of those as well. This next game I was really happy to find, and that is Magical Drop 3 for the PlayStation 1. Awesome game, includes a bunch of special features as well. So a ton of extra content on this, which is really nice to see. And yeah, I love puzzle games. Magical Drop. This one you fire the projectiles, or I guess the drops, I should say, up on the screen. You have to match the rows. Very cool. Love Magical Drop games. It's got both of the discs in here and the manual as well, complete. So very cool. And in good shape as well. Those PlayStation cases tend to get wrecked. The dual cases, the thick cases we have over here in the PAL region. The next game is Moho. This game is called Ball Breakers Overseas, and it goes all the way from like arena fighter game to racing game and everywhere in between. It's loads of mini games on this. You are a prisoner that is looking for their freedom, and you've been converted to some sort of half machine with a big ball that you ride on, and hence the name Ball Breakers. And you have to fight for your right, not to party, but for freedom. Also, this game, for some reason, the front is like a cutaway. I don't know why someone cut away a tiny bit of the label there, but they did. That was something that happened. Maybe that was to mark them as their own copies for like rentals or something. The next one is Shadow Gunner, the Robot Wars, another mech third-person shooter. This one is pretty cool. It's a bit hard as well. Once you get used to it, it gets a little bit easier. I think strafing is like the best thing you can do in this game, if I remember correctly from playing the gameplay footage to record it. But yeah, mech shooter for the PS1. On the PS2, we have Crash Nitro Kart. It's a racing game. My preference will always fall towards Mario Kart, but Crash racing games are really good as well. I remember at one point I was offered a PS1 Crash game, and I didn't go for it. But then I found out it's actually a fairly sought after game afterwards, because I thought it was really common. I thought I could just pick it up at any point. I picked up some other Crash games. I think my version of Crash 1. I have the black box of Crash 1, but it's missing the disc as well. I'm all over the place with Crash. This next game is Police Chase Down for the PlayStation 2. This is very much a budget title. You are on a vehicle, and you are, exactly as the name suggests, chasing down bad guys. Most of the missions you are protecting a convoy of some sort, and it's just one long road, and you shoot down bad guys. It's fine. You can tell it's a budget release. It's not a hidden gem, if you're wondering. But it's the kind of thing that I find very interesting to have in a collection. So there's that. This one, however, is a hidden gem. Reckless, the Yakuza missions on the PlayStation 2. Another vehicle combat game. This one, your vehicles are on. You kind of fire rockets and stuff from your vehicle as you take down the bad guys. There's 2 story modes to this as well. You play as either side, as the bad guys are the good guys. No manual in this one, but there's a lot of really funny comedy to this game as well, which I enjoy. Plus, there's a sequel to this, but the sequel was only released in Japan. For the original Xbox, we have Taito Legends 2. Now, I believe I picked this up previously, but I did not have the case, and I was missing the manual. So happy to grab this. Unfortunately, the Taito Legends packs are missing some games on particular versions, like the PlayStation ones and the Xbox ones, have exclusive games. Their reasoning for that was compatibility with the emulation. I know the Angry Video Game Nerd recently did Taito games. This one doesn't have any postcard in it. Sometimes they do. There's nothing there. I know the first one did. I actually got a variant. I think I had the PlayStation 2 and the original Xbox versions of Taito Legends. They get different postcards, and also they had different games on them, so there's that as well. And then for the Wii, we have the Mad Dog McCree Gunslinger Pack. You guys know I love light gun games, and these versions are much easier to play than playing it on the Sega CD or your 3DO or something like that. I have a Gunslinger Pack on the 3DO, I think, and much easier to play. If you play this game on the Sega CD, or the Mega CD as we call it over here, the loading times are between like every scene. This time it runs very smoothly. It runs in a good resolution, especially if you play it on the Wii U. And the Wii Wiimote controller is very good for these type of light gun on-rail shooters. This also includes the disc and the manual as well. And if you want to check out the Mad Dog games, this is definitely a pack I would recommend. I also wanted to get a pack of the Dragon's Lair games for the Wii, but that ended up getting a re-release on the PS4. I got that from Limited Run Games. But yeah, cool to have these. The Wiimote is excellent for these. Mad Dog McCree, the Gunslinger back with a Wii. And those are my June video game pickups. We will be moving on to my July video game pickups. But before we do, my friends, I am surrounded by games all over the place because I've been dropping them everywhere. So I am going to take a very quick break and talk about adding anticipation to it. What we're going to show next? Well, don't go anywhere, my friends. Enjoy the music and my artwork. Actually, in some previous Resident Evil streams, I had the wrong artwork, wrong music for the break screens. I had my unboxing music. I actually forget what I have queued up this time. It should be my unboxing music, because I pretty much see unboxings and pickups it being in the same territory. But anyway, I will be right back. It should be the correct music for this, and maybe forward I might just have the music on a random playlist. It might be easier, and maybe same with the artwork as well. But anyway, don't go anywhere, my friends. I will be right back. Welcome back, my friends, from that short break. I hope you've been enjoying the action thus far. We are halfway through. Next up, we have July 2020. Now, don't get worried, because from here on, the number of games is less, because at the time there were shop closures and I wasn't picking up as many games. However, I still wanted to do the video game pickups videos and include gameplay footage throughout, so I reduced the games, which actually I think works out better, because that means I can get a little more time and a little more in depth for each game. And that may be what I end up doing going forward for every video game pickups, and just picking like the best of the best for your enjoyment. Anyway, we're back, my friends. So we're going to go over July 2020, and as per usual, gameplay footage would be included for every one of these games in the video game pickups video. So the first thing I picked up, and I know where I picked this up because it's a very distinctive case, is Total Carnage for the Super Nintendo PAL version. Now, these are reproduction cases. I saw a lot of these at Big E's Games and DVDs. They had a ton of these repro cases. This is pretty much a loose cartridge, but I think these cases are really cool. It's a nice way to make a game look more complete. And by the way, during the break, I moved things around so I can actually reach everything. At least the rest of the videos, at least the rest of the games in this video. It is a loose cartridge, but it is in good shape, and I like these cases. They look like Genesis cases, if you will, or Mega Drive cases, and wouldn't be opposed to having these for all of my loose cartridges if I could fit them. Total Carnage on the Super Nintendo. Total Carnage. It's a top-down shooter, a bit like Commando. Top-down shooter action. And next up we have for the Game Boy, Alleyway. And this game does not want to focus, but it's a lot like Breakout, and it's pretty cool game. In fact, I don't know if you can see, but there's Mario inside the capsule there. It doesn't want to focus on it, but that's actually Mario in the capsule. Inside of that, they had to add Mario because it's Nintendo. But yeah, Alleyway is a cool game, and it's a good version of Breakout. And you guys know I like Breakout games, so you know, had to have it. Had to pick it up, and yeah, classic Alleyway on the Game Boy. Space feel to it, but anyway, for the PlayStation 2, very much a dishonorable mention here. So if I was to do like a worst 10 pickups, if I was to do that, this game would be on it. This is London Taxi Rush Hour. And this is essentially, at its core, a Crazy Taxi clone. And it is not good. Not by a long way. It's one of the most frustrating games I recorded gameplay footage for. And it is just, I mean, yeah, this game, you'd have to play it to experience it. There's gameplay footage for it in my July pickup video. But I just can't put into words how bad this is. I love Crazy Taxi, and I hate London Taxi Rush Hour. It is just not good. And I thought, you know, riding the cab would be cool, but no. I can't give this game a fair chance. Get it? See what I did there? Never mind. Anyway, London Taxi Rush Hour. Anyway, for the PlayStation 2, we have Shogun's Blade. And this is a hack and slash game for the PlayStation 2. You guys know I love games in this kind of theme, so it's pretty cool. Plays a bit like, if I remember correctly, this plays a bit like Dynasty Warrior. It plays a little slower than Dynasty Warriors, so there's that, but it is still cool, complete with the disc and manual. And you know what? It probably plays slow because I played it at 50 Hz. It had a 50 Hz, 60 Hz option, mode select I should say. Many games of the time did. PlayStation 1 and PlayStation 2, as was the style of the time, had the option to pick 50 or 60 Hz. I played it in 50 because, you know, that's what my television would be. So yeah, maybe it's a bit faster and I can give it a bit more of a chance if I was to use a different mode. For the PSP, we have KO Challengers. This is a wild platformer. This is really cool as well. This was very enjoyable. I think this is definitely a game that you can sink a lot of time into. It feels right at home amongst the great platformers. High praise, I know, but this game was a lot of fun. Yeah, definitely a game I would like to sink more time into. if I found the time. KO Challengers, very cool platformer. I think it's PSP exclusive as well. So cool platformer. Hidden gem, if you want me to say it. Hidden gem. Another game collection up here with PlayStation Portable. Midway Arcade Classic Extended Play. Now this extended play includes a bunch of amazing games as it is from the Midway Arcade Classics. Why would you want the PSP version? Well, it has some extras, I believe, that were only included on this version. So very cool. And I remember one of these collections had some like 3D remakes that were only included on the PSP version as well. So very cool. I think that might be the Taito collection I'm thinking about. But this has a unique game list to this, to my knowledge. So definitely cool. If you want to play it on the go, grab your PSP and take it out. There you go. You can unlock the arcade games. Nice. It's always enjoyable when they do that they put the arcade games on there as well. And as well, I think if you're licensing one game, you can license the arcade game as well. And it takes up like 0 space on modern game media to have these arcade games anyway. So I would like to see that. You know, it's awesome. Next up is for the Xbox 360, and it is Resident Evil Operation Raccoon City. Now, eagle-eyed viewers will know that I recently streamed this game. I picked it up to stream in my quest to do every single Resident Evil game. We're very close to fruition with that. 2 games left, I believe. But yeah, Resident Evil Operation Raccoon City. Altered Beast, definitely. Yeah, Altered Beast is fantastic. Yeah, Resident Evil Operation Raccoon City. Actually, the second time playing this, because I played it through initially, and then I played it through to live stream it. Playing it through live stream, I enjoyed it more when I was more familiar with it. Definitely a different Resident Evil game. All roads lead to hell. Definitely different, more of a third-person shooter than anything. More like Gears of War than you would have Resident Evil. I think the disc is in the Xbox as well. I think the disc is in the Xbox. For the Wii, more Resident Evil. I was on a Resident Evil kick for this month, it looks like. Resident Evil The Umbrella Chronicles. Again, picked this up to stream it. I have previously streamed this. You can check it out on my channel. Or, of course, there's also gameplay footage for this in my video game pickups video. I've already had the Dark Side Chronicles, but didn't have the Umbrella Chronicles. And yeah, this features more of the Resident Evil games, kind of reimagined and told through a new perspective on an on-rail shooter. I love these games. They're actually really cool. And I went ahead and streamed it, and also got the secret ending on one of them as well. That was pretty cool. Succeed or there is no future, it says. There you go. I can see it's awesome co-op. It seems like a really good co-op actually as well. It seems like a really good one for co-op. At one point, I want to go through them with Jonin and do the co-op ones. So we'll have to figure out which ones can be played 2-player. Some of them have really strange 2-player modes, like Resident Evil 5. If you play that on one system, you have like 2 widescreen screens that split up really weirdly. But anyway, we'll figure it out. This is also the time I picked up Resident Evil 3. Hey Cronus, welcome to the stream. How you doing, my friend? How you doing, buddy? Yeah, so we have Resident Evil 3. This is a remake. Appreciate the like, my friend. How you doing, buddy? Also includes Resident Evil Resistance. I have not played Resistance. I only play the single-player games. I have already streamed this as well. And yeah, it was you know, there's also came with some stickers. There you go. Also came with some whatever. Are these stickers or are these postcards? They look like stickers. There's criticism for this game out there. I enjoyed the game, but it is short, and you know, there's many reasons why a game might end up falling short. Developmental time, maybe the publishers want to release it too soon, but you knew when this was being coupled with Resident Evil Resistance that you probably weren't going to be getting a full game experience with this as well, and it was awesome. The argument that the original Resident Evil 3 is short was no excuse for a Resident Evil 3 remake to be short, because this is shorter than the original. But I digress. I've streamed this as well. You're great. That's good to hear, my friend. I'm doing well. The last game for that month was Xenoblade Chronicles 2, Torna the Golden Country. Now this is DLC for Xenoblade Chronicles 2. However, it also had its own release as its own cartridge, there we go. And this also included the DLC code as well for all of the Season Pass content, which is cool. I would have liked it if that was also on the cartridge somehow and you could install it. You know, in 2 hours and 30 minutes, yeah, it's a very short game. I think the intention is that it's meant to be played on like the harder difficulties, but I would have rather they just added more to it. It's lacking features the original game had, like the Mercenaries mode. And I know they included Resistance, but I wanted single player extra modes, you know. Because on Resident Evil 2 Remake, they added Ghost Survivors, you know, because they added stuff. Anyway, hey video game lover, how you doing my friend? How you doing my lover? The cartridge is in here, but there's a DLC code in here as well. And yeah, had the Torna 2, the Golden Country. I love the main game, so I had to get that. Clock Tower, man, I gotta get into the Clock Tower game series. I've got Haunting Grounds, which was in development as a Clock Tower game. I have some of the other Clock Tower games as well. It's pretty cool. Anyway, yeah, that was the July pickups. So we're going to move on to the August pickups. And make sure I have the right stack of games here. There we go. Alright, good thing I have brought them closer to me. We're going to start off with some Game Boy games. And we have some interesting ones here as well. So, for the Game Boy, first of all, we have Arcade Classics Volume 1. Now, I already have another one of these. This is Asteroids and Missile Command. I love Asteroids. And Missile Command, I think, is played best on a paddle controller, where you can turn it. Or maybe even on a rollerball. But on the Game Boy, it's okay. Also includes Asteroids, one of my favourite games of all time. So yeah, Arcade Classics Volume 1. And then likewise, if you check out my August video game pickups video, you'll have gameplay footage for every single one of these. Alright, next up we have Dino Blaster, which is a Bomberman style game, and I believe this is called Atomic Kid overseas. Very cool. It plays exactly like Bomberman, top down, you drop bombs, break through boundaries and take down enemies, find the exit to proceed. Plays exactly like Bomberman. It pretty much is a Bomberman game. Dino Blaster for the Game Boy. Great game as well. Great game. Absolutely great game. Very, very good. And also for the Game Boy, we have Revenge of the Gator. There you go. And this is a pinball game. And I think my favourite thing about this pinball game is if you drop a ball and it goes down, you don't want to lose track of your balls, guys. If you lose your ball, it like drops down into a gator's open mouth and it devours it. So I like that. Very cool game. For the Game Boy Color, I remember seeing this game in Big E's Games and DVDs that came with a big Game Boy case set, and I didn't pick it up at the time and I regretted it. But here we have it now, and it is Perfect Dark. Perfect Dark for the Game Boy Color. Actually really cool. This has a rumble feature, which is why it's so weird looking. You're supposed to add a like a battery in there. I haven't broken the case. It's supposed to come off like that. I hope so, anyway. You're supposed to add a battery into it and then it will rumble. How do you guys feel about rumble features? Do you like it when it vibrates? What am I doing? What I say? Anyway, Perfect Dark. Game Boy Color. Cool game. It's like a top-down shooter. You can also grab items from enemies as you move along. Very cool, actually. Very cool. I like it when they do something different from the main game. Next up, we have for the Super Nintendo, Realm. This is a side-scrolling platformer, and you can pick up. Don't know, it came out for the Game Boy Color. It's actually pretty cool. It's a pretty cool game. It's got like big sprites as well, which is kind of cool. Realm is a side-scrolling platformer, and it's a fantasy feel one as well. You can grab different weapon power-ups and sort of stuff like that, and it's really cool. Hey, I'm doing great, video game lover. How you doing, my friend? Good to have you here as well. Again, these are our PAL cases for cartridge cases, I should say, for Super Nintendo games. They look like this. They look like Super Famicom cases, but they're PAL Super Nintendo games. The next game I alluded to earlier as my least favourite 8-bit Resident Evil game. And I have live streamed this game. And I live streamed it blind, and I never live stream games blind. And the reason I live streamed it blind, without having played it through previously, is what I mean, is I could not stand to play it any longer than to complete it, to have completed it. And it is Resident Evil 2 on the Tiger Game.com. Yeah. So if you're not aware of how I feel about this game, I live streamed this all in one go. I think it was something like 6 hours it took me to complete this. 6 darn hours. And if it wasn't for the help of lovely people in the live chat, I probably wouldn't have made it through it as well. You have it sealed? Yeah. I probably should have left it sealed. I didn't mind opening up. I have opened this up, but I don't have a game com, and of course I couldn't stream from a game com anyway. But so I did end up streaming this game. I did have some technical issues because I had to use an Xbox One controller. But it's a very, very bad game. It is awful. I'm playing it a second time. I might enjoy it a little more. But yeah, if there's anything you don't want to play, it's Resident Evil 2 on the Tiger Game.com, guys. Honestly. Anyway, love the package though. Love the package and the presentation. Awesome. Awesome packaging. Up to the PlayStation 4. We move swiftly on. Fallout 4 Game of the Year Edition. I had Fallout 4, I think, Steelbook Edition on the Xbox One when it came out. I picked this up because it was so cheap new. I think it was from Argos or somewhere like that. So cheap. And it comes with all of the expanded content on there. All of the extras, which is awesome. So you have that. You got... I don't know what the extras are. I don't think I played the PS4 version much. But there you go. It is complete with the disc and whatever they would substitute for manual these days. But it's not that bad. It's not as good as the previous Fallout games. I didn't like the over-reliance on the big mech suit. Because I personally like to stealth. And I felt like moving around a giant mech suit kind of took away from that. Next up we have a game I will be streaming in the very near future. Resident Evil 6. Now I previously... actually I don't remember if I previously played this on the Xbox 360 and then picked up the PS4 version for purposes of streaming, or if I just went ahead and grabbed the PS4 version. I have the PS4 version. It includes all of the extra content, I guess. Very polarizing game. I think people are much more aware of this game than they are Resident Evil 2 on the Tiger Game.com. So people tend to say that this is the worst. Yeah, I also love Game of the Year editions because they have all of the extra content for the most part on the disc, or at least on a DLC card. I prefer it on the disc, of course. But I love having that content in one package as well. So I enjoy that as well. I think a lot more people are aware about this game, of course, than Resident Evil 2 on the Tiger Game.com. So they might say this is the worst Resident Evil. The worst Resident Evil is Resident Evil 2 on the Tiger Game.com. Can't even say it because it makes me so mad. The worst Resident Evil is Resident Evil 2 on the TigerGame.com. I'll say it twice to put the impact in there. So this is not the worst Resident Evil because that one exists. However, there you go. It's more of a third-person shooter than it is a Resident Evil game. There are other campaigns on this. We will be streaming this game, so you guys will see it. I am this and one other Resident Evil game away from having streamed all of the single-player Resident Evil content, as well as having completed them previously beforehand. We recently streamed Resident Evil Revelations. I believe this I did have on the Xbox 360, and then picked up, definitely this time around, I know for that to be true, that I picked this up on the PlayStation 4 specifically for streaming. And this is a good game. Playing it a second time around, I enjoyed it a lot more as well. Retro Robbie said that Resident Evil Revelations 1 and 2 was some of the most some of the most underrated. Resident 6 was not as bad as Leon part was good. I liked the Ada part the best on Resident Evil 6. That's not saying much. Discs there, no manual, because games don't come with manuals anymore. But yeah, Resident Evil Revelations, we have streamed this very recently. And then another game we will be streaming in the near future, the Resident Evil Revelations 2 box set. Now, Revelations and Revelations 2 were both released episodically, and when they were combined into one package when they were released physically, which is cool. I'm glad they did that. Very, very interesting release schedule. And then you get to play as Claire Redfield on this, so that I'm excited about. One of my favorite characters as well. We will get to stream this too. This and Resident Evil 6 are the last games I need to stream to have streamed every single player Resident Evil game. So there. And of course I'm including like Gaiden and Resident Evil 2 and TigerGame.com in that. But we've got to the end of the road, so to speak. But we also got to the end of the road of this pickup video. This pickup month, I should say, not the end of this video. We have a couple of months left. A couple of months, I should say, as in a couple of more to say. But that video, which would have been August 2020, that was the last pickup. We now move on to September video game pickups. Likewise, you can check out my September video game pickups video, which will include gameplay footage for every game I am about to show you. Assuming I do not drop them on the ground, because they're in a very disorganized heap ahead of me. Anyway. Oh, I totally did drop one on the ground. I totally did drop one. That was bound to happen. Also, I keep smacking my microphone. Smack that microphone. So I hope it hasn't come out of. Well, you know. Earlier someone said I was very professional. Anyway, I've got to go grab that game I just dropped. So give me a moment while I scoot around and grab it. It's just ahead of me. There we go. We got it. We got it. Stream saved. Very professional stream. Very professional stream. Pro streamer right here. Anyway. So, Super Nintendo games are first up for the month of September. Again, you can check out gameplay footage for all of these on my September video. So first we have Pop and Twinbee. Awesome parody style scrolling shooter. Love it. Love it. Almost similar to like Parodius, but maybe a little bit less wild than that, because that really goes out there. Very cool game. Revelations 2 is hard to control on the Vita. I actually really like Revelations 2 as well. 5 games on there, okay. Yeah, I actually really like the Resident Evil game. I mean, I obviously like them, I played them all. Yeah, Pop and Twinbee. Cool shooter game. Scrolling. Very colourful. They use a lot of their characters, and they put them all on screen. Very cool. I had been looking for this. I picked it up at Faceless Monkey, I remember that. Pick up a lot of stuff there, even some stuff recently, some stuff off camera, but you know, they're going to be featured on my next game hunting video, I believe, and the next one after that as well, so a lot of stuff from them. Anyway, Pop and Twinbee. Next up we have Super Bomberman. It's like Bomberman, but super. Everything on the Super Nintendo had to be super, and it's Super Bomberman. This is a really super version of Bomberman. 16-bit graphics look great. Obviously top-down maze game. You drop your bombs, you blow up areas, and you blow up your enemies. You find the secret door to escape. Love the Bomberman games. Love the Bomberman series. Had to pick this up. Obviously, I would like it in the box, but the cardboard boxes do get messed up on the Nintendo and Super Nintendo games. But glad to have it, at least on the loose cartridge. Super Bomberman for the Super Nintendo. Next up we have a PlayStation 1 game, Parasite Eve 2. Now Parasite Eve was never released in the UK, so we only got Parasite Eve 2. Regardless, happy to have this. It's a role-playing game, survival horror. The combat is very unusual in it as well. Very happy to have this, at least happy that this version came out. I would have to have some way to play American PlayStation 1 games if I wanted to play the first game, and of course I'd have to get it as well. The discs have fallen out of their cases, which is very often the case with these PAL dual cases. 2 discs in there, of course, and there's the manual as well. Cool stuff. Parasite Eve 2, great game, great game. Which is the birthday one? Third Birthday, which is on the PSP. I don't have that, but there's a special edition of that I'd like to grab. You know, I've seen the special edition as well previously. I think in a CEX, but it was in really bad shape. I just should have grabbed it because I so rarely see it. For the original Xbox, we have Dreamfall: The Longest Journey. This is a sequel to Dreamfall, a PC point-and-click game, or adventure game, I should say. And this likewise is an adventure game. Very cool, very dark story telling in this game. There's gameplay footage for it in the associated video, as I mentioned. Couldn't put all of the games and which videos they relate to in the description because that's way too much text. I tried to do it, wouldn't let me. But yeah, you can check that out in the in what would be the September 2020 video game pickups video. Got digital on the Vita, nice. Speaking of handhelds, Sony handhelds, next is the PSP. We have Puyo Pop Fever. Recently picked this up on the PS2. It is puzzle popping fun, as it describes itself, a popping puzzle fun even. There we go. It's an awesome game, very fun, and I love the Puyo Puyo games. I love these puzzle games. I'm yet to get Puyo Puyo Tetris actually for the Switch, but I think it made its way on the PS4 recently, so I need to pick that up as well. Awesome game, glad to have that as well. Another awesome game is Space Invaders Extreme. It's like Space Invaders, but extreme. Honestly, even though there's not a lot to say about this except that it is Space Invaders but extreme, this is awesome. I really wish I could describe more of what's going on, other than it's quite a psychedelic version of Space Invaders. It has a lot of fast colors, it has big boss battles, and it is a very good version of Space Invaders. Very cool. Probably one of my favorite versions. It's got great music, it's got great action, it plays like Space Invaders, but it also does massive boss battles and bonus levels as well. This is really good. Honestly, definitely hidden gem. Space Invaders Extreme on the PSP. Very, very good game. I like it a lot. And then the last videos from the last pickups from this video, which would be September, to make it to not confuse as I confuse myself, were a bunch of 3DS games I got from Argos, and I got these all really cheap because Argos were clearing out 3DS games. We have Codename Steam, which is a turn-based tactical game, and that was pretty cool. Didn't know anything about it, but it was only a couple of pounds, so I picked it up. Complete with, I mean, they're brand new, so it was definitely complete with everything. I also got The Legend of Zelda Triforce Heroes, which is a cooperative Zelda game. It's very difficult. This was very difficult to record gameplay footage for because you kind of need to play it. With friends. It's very difficult to play solo. I wish they would have made more of an effort to make it solo playable. You still need to play as all the characters, which you can only play individually, and so yeah, you have to keep switching between characters. Hey Dave, how you doing, my friend? Welcome to the stream. Good to see you, buddy. And then we have essentially a Pokemon style game, Yokai Watch. Didn't know anything about this, it was just so cheap and I picked it up. I would say that I've only played these a little bit, but I'm not really as into these as Pokemon, but we'll see. I'd have to give them more of a chance. But I definitely picked them up on the back of them looking like Pokemon. Yokai Watch, and I also got Yokai Watch 2, Fleshy Souls. And I believe there's another version, and similar to kind of like Pokemon Red and Blue, there's another version of this, and there's also like a Pokemon Yellow version which has both games together, so to speak. So all of the content in one cartridge, which is interesting to see. I like it when they do those releases. I said do. I like it when they do those releases where they combine everything together, but there you go. And those were the September video game pickups. So we'll move on to the October video game pickups. And I have these right here. And then likewise, if you go check out my October video game pickups video, it's fully edited and includes gameplay footage for every game I'm about to show you. So first of all, we have a Game Boy game complete in box. The box for this is not very good. And it is Donkey Kong Land 3 for the Game Boy. Still good to have it in the box though. Lots of games. I definitely have a lot of games to show in this video for sure. I can't remember if this has a Game Boy Color version. Some of these games have Game Boy Color versions as well. This is the yellow, like banana colored cartridge that you would often get with these Donkey Kong games. There you go. Yeah. It's really torn up in there, so I probably shouldn't have yanked it out like that. I yanked it too hard, my friends. Oh boy. Hey, no worries, Fango. Appreciate you dropping by, my friend. Good night, and I will catch you later, my friend. Thanks for stopping by, and I'll see you next time. So next up we have for the Game Boy Color, Pokemon Silver. Donkey Kong is a classic. It is indeed. Donkey Kong is a fantastic game. Pokemon Silver, I was briefly touching on Pokemon earlier, and now I'm stroking Pokemon. I haven't played this one. I played Pokemon Red and Blue on the Game Boy, and then I stopped for a while and came back. I want to say Fire Red, like the remake of Red for the Game Boy Advance. And then I got out again and I came back in the recent Pokemon, but I don't have the new one. But I sort of stopped being a Pokemon master and then tried to be a Pokemon master. But I haven't played this one, so I picked it up. And these Pokemon games are getting expensive because they're very collectible. Casual collectors really go for Pokemon games. They're very expensive. But there you go, Pokemon Silver. It's in a very pretty cartridge as well. And then for the Game Boy Color, I believe I got this game from Faceless Monkey and Truro, but I didn't get it on camera. And it is Super Mario Deluxe for the Game Boy Color. Awesome case here. It pretty much is the 16-bit version of the NES game, so like the Super Nintendo version of the NES game. Everything's in here. I'm not going to open it up because I'll just mess up the box. But yeah, very cool to get this in the box. It's in very good shape. The only problem is the screen size of the Game Boy. They've compacted it, so you have to do a fair few blind jumps. So you have to be very familiar with what you're doing, or you're going to run into trouble on Super Mario Bros. Deluxe. I believe this also has lost levels in it, but I could be wrong. Next up, we have for the Game Boy Advance, my favorite kart racing game on the Game Boy Advance, and it is Konami Crazy Racers. It's so crazy, it's spelled with a K. Crazy Racers. Love this game. This when I talked about the Crash Bandicoot Racer earlier, and I said there was a better kart game that I had played. This is the favorite kart game on the Game Boy Advance I have played. I like this more than the Mario racing game. Saying a lot. This is a really good racing game. If you haven't checked out Konami Crazy Racers, I don't know. I think a lot of people know about this game, so I wouldn't say it's a hidden gem, but it is definitely a good game. It is crazy good. There you go. Brought it in. Konami Crazy Racers for the Game Boy Advance. Love that game. For the PlayStation 2, we have Steambot Chronicles. This is a sandbox role-playing game, and I really enjoyed this when I got to play gameplay footage. You also use mech combat in this as well, but you can do pretty much anything in this game. You can become like a singer, play some pool. It's really awesome. Very cool game. Complete with the I almost said the cartridge again, with the disc and manual. Lots of games going over today, so yeah, I am the one being crazy. And for the PlayStation 2, another game we didn't get the first game in the UK, but we got the sequel, Xenosaga 2. So Xenosaga 1 was never released in the UK, but we did get Xenosaga 2. Comes with a bonus DVD, a load of extras in here. This is a role-playing game, and I would say too many cutscenes. Honestly, too many cutscenes in this game. How I feel about the modern... Hey Mike, Loves Gaming, how you doing my friend? Welcome to the stream. I feel the same way about this as I do the modern Final Fantasy games. Less cutscenes, more gameplay. But yeah, everything's in here. All of the discs. It's awkward to show them, but there you go. There's everything in there, including a special movie as well. There you go. And I dropped the case on the floor. There you go. You got to see a little bald head action there as well. So how about that? Hey, little free bald head. Anyway, for the DS, we have The Legend of Zelda: Phantom Hourglass. Now, I do intend to actually live stream this at some point. I bought the Wii U version with the intention to live stream it, but playing it on the Wii U is just so awkward. This is designed for the stylus on the DS. If I get a way to stream from a DS, maybe it might be easier, but I'll have to figure out how I'm going to do this down the line. But Phantom Hourglass, cool game. Actually a sequel to Wind Waker. So there you go. Very cool. Zelda games are awesome. Always awesome. Phantom Hourglass is a good one. And this is complete with the cartridge. There we go, using it correctly. And the manual. How about that? And then after that we have The Legend of Zelda: Spirit Tracks. And although this looks like it is a follow-up to that game as well, I mean, it does use the same characters, but this is set in a different time period. So it's a different Link and it's a different Zelda, even though they look like even though they look like the Wind Waker. In fact, Zelda is back to being Tetra in Phantom Hourglass. So there you go. And there's some gameplay for that. Again, uses the stylus very heavily, but this is also complete with all of the extras. I love that. I love having them complete. And then because we were clearly on some kind of Zelda kick, I also picked up, I think I got this from CX at the time, and it is The Legend of Zelda, A Link Between Worlds, which is actually a sequel to the Super Nintendo game, A Link to the Past. How about that, guys? This is also a top-down adventure game. The gimmick in this one is that you can move into the walls and move kind of 2D to get around environments like that. Very cool, very awesome game. And it's actually, you can turn around the cover as well for an alternate cover. Pretty cool as well. Yeah. What does it look like on the other side, actually? Let's have a look. Ooh, it's really pretty. It's all gold on the other side. Gotta keep it gold, right? The gold standard. See if I can get that back in now as well. But hey, no worries, Dead Inside. Appreciate you dropping by, my friend. Good night, and I will catch you next time. There we go. Is that back in its place? I will worry about that later, I think. I will worry about getting it perfect next time I put it away. Because you know when you like take stuff out and you're like trying to get it back in, and it's like ever so slightly off center. But you know that whatever. We'll fix it later. We'll fix it later. Legend of Zelda: Link Between Worlds. There you go. The last one for this month's video was Super Mario Galaxy 2 on the Wii. Now I played Super Mario Galaxy 1 actually on the Switch Collection, 3D Collection, and the controls on the Switch were really bad. It's much easier to play on the Wii. I've played and completed this now. I'm going to be doing the Mario games at some point as well. This also comes with like a learn to play DVD, and actually also have that DVD sealed as well elsewhere. But there's the disc and there's the learn to play DVD. Same artwork on the disc as the DVD. Apparently they felt like you really needed to know how to play the game, even though I think it's fairly intuitive. But anyway, Super Mario Galaxy 2 for the Wii. Which moves us on to our next month's pickups for November. Remember. Anyway, see if I can remember what's in there. Alright, let's have a look at this. So the first game is an NES game, and likewise, all of my games I'm about to show you from my November pickup video, you can check out gameplay footage for on my November edited pickup video. First one is for the NES, and it is Fester's Quest, a top-down shooter. This is a PAL version, PAL A, 3 screws. Often said to be quite a interesting game. I don't mind it. I know a lot of other people are fans of this as well. I know Zombie is a fan of it. It's an interesting game. I wanted to have it on cartridge, and I wanted to grab a lot of NES games I was missing, so definitely had to grab this Fester's Quest on the NES. And then for the Game Boy, now this was one I already had, but I had to grab this when I found it, and it is Double Dragon for the Game Boy. And I grabbed this because it's the Japanese version, and the Japanese artwork. I'll take it out of the case and maybe it'll focus on it, but don't hold your breath. Double Dragon for the NES, not the NES version, the Game Boy version. It really doesn't want to focus on it. It really doesn't. But I assure you that the artwork on this version looks a lot better than the regular version. And in fact, in my video, you can see it a little better further away. But in my video, I did get it to focus, and that would be on my November video game pickups video. You can see me showing this, and I compare the cover art to the UK version as well. The game was, of course, also on the NES, but you can have it on the go as well. Very cool to grab that. Very cool to grab that. Also, for the Game Boy, we have the Game Boy Gallery 5-in-1 which also doesn't want to focus. This is a... Oh, now it focuses. So there you go. Typical. And this is a bunch of Game & Watch games. This is actually the first collection, except it doesn't have Mario characters. I don't believe this game was released overseas either. But instead of having Mario characters like some of the other Game & Watch collections has, it has like generic characters from. Still, very good collection of Game & Watch games. Very enjoyable as well. So yeah, a ton of awesome games in this Game & Watch gallery. And yeah, love this. Love the Game & Watch games. They're very good for when you have like just a short amount of time and you want to just kick back and play a little bit of gaming action. There you go. Next up we have Popeye 2. And Popeye 2, oh now it focuses. I see how it is. Popeye 2 is a platformer, sequel to Popeye 1. Of course, the first Popeye game is more like Donkey Kong actually. It's more like an arcade game. This one's more of a platformer, and yeah, very cool to grab this. I like Popeye 2 a lot more than I like Tetris 2. And speaking of such, next up we have Tetris 2 for the Game Boy. And Tetris 2, I like Tetris 1 a lot better. This is a good puzzle game. If you've had your fill of Tetris, then perhaps maybe you'll like Tetris 2. I just like Tetris a lot more, and I never get tired of Tetris. So there you go, Tetris 2 for the Game Boy. Cool game though, cool game. Another interesting game here is The Humans for the Game Boy. I would describe this game as more... it doesn't want to focus on it. I would describe this game as pretty much almost like Lemmings, except it's more like a puzzle game than it is... well, I guess Lemmings is a puzzle game. I digress. Instead of... you're just trying to get them... you know, Lemmings was an accurate comparison. I should have left it at that. You're trying to get the humans from one place to another. You have to grab tools along the way. You have to climb over each other and jump over pits and stuff, and gain items to move forward. But you do it controlling each one individually. So it's very cool. Yeah, because Lemmings, they automatically move. These ones you control individually. You have to work them together to get through. And yeah, the humans on the Game Boy. Pretty cool game. For the Game Boy Color, we have Gex. This game was on just about everything back in the day, including the 3DO. Lemmings is awesome. Lemmings is awesome. I love Lemmings. Used to play Lemmings a lot on the Amiga. Gex was on just about everything. This is also a side-scrolling platformer, except with 8-bit Game Boy Color graphics. And yeah, this one's pretty cool. Obviously doesn't have the 3D graphics you would have on the PlayStation version, for example, but still very fun. And I like grabbing these alternate versions as well for Game Boy and alike. Next up for the Game Boy Color, that was a black cartridge. So black cartridges work on Game Boys and Game Boy Colors. Transparent cartridges only work on Game Boy Colors. This is Power Rangers Lightspeed Rescue. And I actually think this game is really fun as well. And it doesn't want to focus on it. It'll only focus when it wants to. But I'll have to stay focused myself. Remember that. This has a bunch of different game modes on it, actually. And I actually find this really enjoyable. The first game mode has you running around rescuing people from a burning building, and then there's also like kind of mech battles with the Zords type deal as well, and stuff like that. So very cool, very inventive, especially for the limitations of the Game Boy as well. Game Boy Color, that is. Very cool. Power Rangers Lightspeed Rescue for the Game Boy Color. Next up we have Tonic Trouble for the Game Boy Color, which does focus. There's an N64 game of this. This was one of the games I really didn't enjoy recording gameplay footage for, because it's a platform and it's just a little bit awkward. I think if I give it more time I would like it more, but as it stands, Tonic Trouble, it's okay. But there's other platformers, like I wouldn't play this over Mario. If Mario was there and Tonic Trouble was anywhere near, I would cast Tonic Trouble to the wolves and play Mario. Figuratively, that is. But yeah, it's alright. I'd have to give it another chance to. When I record footage for gameplay videos, I'm playing a lot of games at once. So if a game starts to get me hot, then you know I don't record so much of it. Next up, we're on to the Game Boy Advance. We have Crash XS, also known as Crash: The Great Adventure Overseas. This is a platformer. It goes from side-scrolling to kind of like a 3D style view moving forward as well. The Game Boy Advance could do some crazy stuff, man. Game Boy Advance is very inventive. And yeah, this game was pretty awesome. It's its own game. It's not like a watered-down version of the PlayStation game. It is very cool. And I did enjoy this game a lot. And it's great to get it. I won't take it out of the case, but it's great to get it complete in the box as well. I've been lucky getting them in the box in good condition. Also called the Great Adventure Overseas. Love the Crash games. I know, right? I really like the that they've been brought back into focus as well with modern versions. Next up, for the Xbox 360, we have the Silent Hill Collection. This is a collection of Silent Hill 2, Inner Fears, which is like the director's cut version of Silent Hill 2, and Silent Hill 3. These are both fantastic games. I love Silent Hill 2 to death. Not to sound scary or anything. Very cool to have them. These are not the best versions of them. They have been butchered a little bit to be HD. I actually in my video for the video game pickups for November 2020, I even compared gameplay footage from this version of Silent Hill 2 to the original PlayStation 2 version of Silent Hill 2 to show you why this version looks worse. They did bump it up to widescreen, but the fog effect is really bad, and it just kind of it was built for the PlayStation 2 in enhancing it, or really just blowing it up, kind of didn't serve it as well. There was a lot of horror held in the unknown, in what was hidden from you, that the presentation the PlayStation 2 had improved upon. So that's my opinion, though. I will say that you can play these on the Xbox One, and that they have apparently patched out some of the issues with the games. There's extra voices on these as well, which are not as good as the originals, but this has a disc and a manual as well. And it's still good to have different versions of these games, particularly if you want to stream them as well. You have the more HD version, your capture card likes that better. And then for the last of November's month, we have Streets of Rage 4. This is a limited run games version that also came with a soundtrack, which is behind me. I won't grab it this time. I will say that the special edition box for the special edition content I have for this is elsewhere, so I can't actually bring it out right now. I didn't want to crush it under the stacks of games I had. But yeah, this is the limited run version. I ordered this first because I didn't think there would be a way to get this in the UK. And this comes with all of the little extras as well. It also came with a soundtrack selection CD they added after the fact. And the inlay is reversible, so you can have the bare knuckle, the Japanese style other side of it. After I ordered this, I've been speaking a lot, so my throat is killing me. After I ordered this, I then found out about the Signature Edition version. So I picked up the Signature Edition version, which was, I think it was cheaper for me to grab the Signature Edition version than it was to get the Streets of Rage Standard Edition. They had a special edition that came with a Mega Drive case. Streets of Rage 4 was an awesome game. It was. So not only did I do an unboxing of both, unboxing stream of both my Streets of Rage editions that I ended up grabbing, I also streamed the whole game after it as well because I loved it so much. So I think I streamed the game the whole way through on the unboxing anyway. And then afterwards, I wanted to get a few secrets, so I streamed it again. So I streamed it like, back to back. It was so good. Signature Edition had a load of extras that the limited run version didn't have. And of course, you could get this in Europe as well, much easier. I wish I knew that this, nobody knew this would be available when the limited run one was announced. And this came with a load of extra stuff. The box is elsewhere, but I did an unboxing video for this, so you can see all of that in it. But yeah, this included, there's a keyring in there. Came with a bunch of extra stuff. It was really cool. Really awesome. And it is, like you say, an awesome game. Absolutely awesome. Anyway, we've made it to December Pickups. December Pickups was the recent video I just posted. And you can check that out on the channel. It has gameplay footage for every game picked up. And then, of course, if you don't want spoilers, look away now. But these are my December video game pickup games from my pickup video. So these were the December games. And let me check my list real quick to make sure it is accurate. Good thing I had a list in front of me, right? There's a lot of games to go through. And yeah, so December video game pickups. It's currently, at the time of this stream is the feature video on the channel as well, on the front page of the channel, and you can check it out and see gameplay footage for every game I'm about to show you. So first of all, for the Master System, we have Paperboy. Awesome to find this. The Master System version looks really good. The graphics are really nice and very cool as well. And I believe, unless I'm mistaken, this has the manual in there as well. Cases I got there were from My Game Vault as well, if you're wondering. These are protective cases. And yeah, complete with the manual and the cartridge. How about that? Very cool, very cool. A great version of Paperboy as well. So it's good to have that. And next up, another Master System game. This one is Wonder Boy in Monster Land. Love the Wonder Boy game series. I picked up some of the other games in the series. Would like to have them all at some point. Great to get this in the box complete. Love the artwork there for fantasy. Side scrolling platformer. The boss battles RPG action as well in this mega cartridge. Complete as well, cartridge and manual in there as well. Very cool. Love that. Yeah, I actually also did a review of these protective cases as well. They're very good. It's on the channel as well. And then for the Game Boy, I had this very, very peculiar multi-cartridge. Now this was actually one of the more difficult things to film for a pickup video. Not that it was bad. This is not legit, but I do actually enjoy these bootlegs. Finding them sometimes. The label is actually coming off as well, which is a little bit upsetting. But this includes a bunch of random stuff, and it includes. And by the way, for the December video, I showed every single gameplay footage on this cartridge. And I believed at the time when I mentioned it in my game hunting video, and by the way, I have a game hunting video coming, which will be posted on Monday, where I think this is included in that, or it could have been another video, but I'm pretty sure it's that one coming. I believe I said that I would be able to capture this on my GameCube Game Boy player, which was not the case. It would not work on my GameCube Game Boy player, because I believe that has some kind of protection in it to prevent bootlegs playing. It also would not work on my Game Boy player on my Super Nintendo. It wouldn't work on that either. So I was panicking a little bit. No, wait, I'm wrong. Sorry, back up. I'm probably wrong about many things. But anyway, I thought it would work on my GameCube Game Boy player. We're in like an Xbox series loop now because it's so confusing. I believed it would work on my Game Boy player on my GameCube because it worked on my Game Boy Advance, which I showed that earlier, Game Boy Advance. And they're basically the same thing. In fact, the innards of the Game Boy Advance are in the Game Boy player attachment to the GameCube, but it does run off a disc to work, and I believe that's where the copy protection comes in. It also wouldn't work. I didn't think it would work on my Retro Freak. It didn't work on my Retro Freak, but it did work. Now getting it right, it did work on my Super Nintendo Game Boy player, and that's where I got the gameplay footage for it. And it includes, and I showed all of these games in the video, SD Hero Gaiden 2, which was a fighting game, and I believe that's the logo on the front there as well. One-on-one fighting game. Interesting playing fighting games with a Game Boy controls, by the way, with just 2 buttons. And then it had Ranma 1/2 free, and that's I would compare that game to Bomberman. It's a maze game. It was actually very cool, like a puzzle game. And then the third game on here is Dr. Mario, which is Dr. Mario. I've shown that before. The fourth game is Space Invaders, and that is not the Game Boy cartridge Space Invaders version. It is a similar version, but it doesn't have the option of playing the 16-bit version when you play it on the Game Boy. Play it on the Super Nintendo. Unfortunately, I guess they couldn't fit that on this cartridge. The fifth game was Dragon Slayer, which is a Japanese exclusive role-playing game. Kind of, you walk into enemies to attack them, and you have to find a lot of items on that. The sixth game is listed as Pipe Dream Mario, and that is actually Pipe Dream. I don't know why they put Mario in the title. The 7th game is Crystal Quest, which was a oh, by the way, the first fighting game was Japanese exclusive as well. The 7th game is Crystal Quest, which is like a shoot 'em up game, like a shooter. You're on one screen and you shoot all the enemies that come in. Pretty cool. And then the 8th game is Cubillion, and actually on the main menu, it's called Cubillion Mickey Mouse because it has a mouse on it, which it's not. It's Cubillion, which is a number puzzle game where you get numbers in stacks to line up. But anyway, cool. That's the very, very interesting multi-car, and I find that kind of stuff interesting. The next game is on the PlayStation 1, and that is Worms Pinball. Very cool pinball game. Glad to find this. I love pinball games, actually. There's good pinball games on the TurboGrafx 16. Pretty cool tables. It's pretty crazy. There's pure wormage in this game, as it suggests. There you go. Worms Pinball on the PlayStation 1. And then, for the Wii, we have Project Zero 2 Wii Edition. This is a remake of the PlayStation 2 and original Xbox game. Very cool. And it's very fun to play. I will say, I preferred the voices from the original game. I don't know why they didn't just use the same voices. They redid the voices. It's similar to the Silent Hill collection. You can tell my voice is killing me. There you go. Project Zero 2. Cool to have that. And also picked up some more Project Zero, or Fatal Frame as you might know it overseas. Project Zero 4. Mask of the Lunar Eclipse. This is Japanese only. And I also picked up an American Wii console specifically for this game, and I've modded it through a program called Revolution that will allow me to play this with a translation patch. Big thanks you to the people that made the translation patch. They did a fantastic job because this game was never localized in English, but I can play this from the disc with that translation patch on an American Wii, so that's very cool. And I have played every game in the Project Zero series to this point as well. Get a wee cup of tea? Nice. Some people put sugar in their tea, but put whatever you like in it. I digress. Some people put honey in their tea as well. Complete with a disc and manual. This does work, of course. I have been playing it. Love it. Baffles my mind, actually, that the program can run the translation patch and the game at the same time. And next up, we have a offshoot from the Project Zero / Fatal Frame series, which is Spirit Camera, The Cursed Memoir. And I'll go ahead and say that this was the most difficult game to capture gameplay footage for. I actually quite like this game, but playing it regularly, it needs so much light. I've got a well-lit game room for doing videos in. You need so much light to play this game, it's ridiculous. I had to have my phone light on my camera shining on the little AR book that is included right here. I like, by the way, you can sort of see eyes through the thing there. It's pretty funny. Yeah, and also, by the way, I should also say that Project Zero 2 Wii Edition has some AR stuff on the back of the manual as well, which is really cool. So you can actually do a little bit of AR from the back of the manual there for the characters from Project Zero 2 in the Spirit Camera game on the 3DS. But yeah, I think there are some flaws with the 3DS camera, which makes this game a little harder to play than it should be, but it is still quite fun. I have no idea how I could possibly stream this if I were to stream it. I would like the challenge of doing so, but there you go. Spirit Camera, The Cursed Memoir, an AR game that uses your cameras on your 3DS. Or the 3DS. And then finally we have some Xbox 360 games. We're at the end, my friends. First of all, we have Bayonetta. I already had this in a double pack with Bayonetta 2 on the Wii U. But I wanted to grab the Xbox 360 version. I will also say that I have I'm potentially after the modern release of this as well. I know they released this with Vanquish and double pack as well. So pretty cool. This is a hack and slash action game. Combat kind of Devil May Cry, similar I guess. Plays like that. Very cool game, very awesome. Well loved game as well. Edge gave it 10 out of 10. It's legendary. How about that? And then this is a game that I already owned that I did not have this version of. It's fallen to pieces here, but all of these versions have very bad very bad seals on it. Hey, no worries, Mike Loves Gaming. Appreciate you dropping by, my friend. Great to see you, and I will catch you next time. This is the Fable 3 Collector's Edition. I wanted this for ages, but I've never found it in absolutely great shape. But it includes a bunch of extras on it, and it has this cool book packaging. And unfortunately, I've never seen one where this part is in good shape. But yeah, there you go. It has like a magnetic lock here. Love the look of this, by the way. That kind of reminds me of like a Time Lord seal from Doctor Who. But it's actually the Guild seal. In here you have the game, which is there. And then you have like a secret compartment, which includes, yeah, that bit's coming to pieces. I forget how to open this. There we go. Okay, so it's magnetic. You have a secret compartment at the bottom here, which has the Guild Seal coin and Fable 3 playing cards. How about that? Pretty cool extras, and a very cool set as well. But Fable 3 won't be eligible for my top 10 because I already own that game. I just picked up a different edition. And then finally, we're at the last game, guys. After what, 3 hours? Appreciate you guys being with me as well. It is Halo 4. I mean, Trevor mentioned this earlier. This is a bundle copy of the Game of the Year edition. And unfortunately, the DLC for this version comes on codes. It's not on the disc, even though there are yeah, you can't see any codes anyway from here. That's fine. Even though the bundle copy comes with 2 discs, they still didn't fit the extra content on the discs. Bizarre, right? So I may go after a sealed version of this, but I think Trevor alluded to earlier that it might be on the Xbox One collection, which I do have, and I think I have a physical version of that. No, I've seen a physical version of it at the gold mine in Newquay, but they wanted too much for it. But do I not have it? Halo? No, I do have the Halo collection. It's right here. It's right here. I do have it. I just don't have the special edition. But yeah, so I may already have that anyway. But you know, there you go. Anyway, guys, those were my video game pickups for the entire year of 2020. And once again, I know I've said this a million times, but you can check out gameplay footage for all of these games on my video game pickup videos. There's a playlist on the channel. My video game pickups for the month that it is normally the feature video on the channel, that or game hunting. And yeah, you can check them out on the channel. Just search for them or what have you, or find them on the playlist on the front page or on the playlists, and you'll see gameplay footage and an edited video for every video game pickup. Other than that, my friends, thank you for being here. This has been, I know this has been a long video, and I appreciate you guys being with me. We, you know, my voice is just about gone, and we have gone through a lot of games as well. So appreciate you guys being here for that. Yeah, many video game pickups, a whole year of pickups, and look forward to, my friends, tomorrow, or to be honest, at the time it is right now, today, technically speaking, because it's past midnight for my time. I will be doing so Saturday I will be doing my top 5 horror pickups, so have a look at what I've shown you in this video and consider what may be the top 5 horror games. And I will also be doing on Sunday my top 10. Both of those videos will include gameplay footage live. It will be a technical hurdle, but I'm up for it. And yeah, it will be a lot of fun as well. And then I will say that on the top 10, I will not be including the top 5 horror, and I will not be including like plug and plays or a game I previously owned and picked up a different edition of it. Anyway, guys, thank you for being with me. It just remains for me to say, if you like the video, be sure to leave a like or a comment to let me know what you think, and don't forget to subscribe for more awesome content. Monday, in fact, forget to mention, I will be posting video game hunting. So last video game hunting video of the year as well. You can see me go out and pick up games as well. And yeah, so like, subscribe, all that good stuff. Also, if you'd like to, you can also support me through Patreon or YouTube channel membership. Thank you for watching. I've been MVL, and you guys have been awesome, and I will catch you next time.